I think YouTube. And, of course, everything you need on WisconsinOnDemand.com and the Wisconsin On Demand app. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. They moved up practice. It's going to be so hot, which means I get to do the show one more time for practice. Alex Strofe, the aforementioned Strophe, is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios, more than capably filling in for Jesse, who's on puppy duty. Strofe, good morning. Thanks for stepping in.
Good morning, Jason. Happy to be here.
I know you are. And speaking of being here, also in the Everlight
That was a lot
Solar.
of fake laughter by Strofe.
That wasn't fake laughter. It was more, I don't know how thrilled I am to be here, given the
you're not
circumstances.
thrilled to be here.
No,
That's okay.
I always appreciate hanging out with you guys.
Sure. But
And
you'd rather be somewhere else or come strolling in at 11 o'clock.
Thus, as I do, right? But, yeah, just the whole I'm watching my puppy on Wednesdays thing starting to get to me, and now coming in for a free lunch.
I think this is the last one.
I think we got one more left.
No, it's August. I think he's done. Is there another
there's
week
another
of August?
Wednesday
the
still in
third
August.
There
is
is.
next Wednesday.
Oh, boy. Okay.
And let's not kid ourselves. This could very well be extended into September. Think about who we're talking about here. That voice you hear, and also in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios, belongs to the Packers Hall of Famer, who is always coming in hot. He is Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. So I'm going to sprinkle a little bit in again.
Sprinkling.
I'm going to sprinkle a little bit before we do Hard Knocks and everything else. I got annoyed last night again.
No.
Well, so we're finally, I think, settling back in. We got back from Door County. We've had a nice summer, but it's starting to get school. We got school starts next week. So last night we all got done dinner, decompressed a little bit, and we're going to watch a movie. And it's always tricky. You're in that same kind of range right now with your kids where you're not quite there to be playing. I mean, I would watch
Wedding Crashers.
Crashers is not available. But we're like, all right, let's watch a movie. And I said, you know what? I love going back because the kids got a big kick out of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Forrest Gump, Max enjoyed it. Eleanor did not. So I thought, let's do 16 Candles. Molly Ringwald. There's some stuff there, but I'm kind of over this because your kids are out in society now. Things are hairy. Like it's not like Eleanor doesn't know that there's an F word. Like she knows and she laughs.
Right,
she
that doesn't
knows
mean she needs to hear it.
As a matter of fact, she said last night, I've heard it because I don't know if it was in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. But she said, oh, that was so funny when that guy kept dropping F-bombs. And I said, oh, I know you heard it. She said, but I never say it. And I said, I don't know if that's good parenting. I'm glad she doesn't say it. She's going to hear it. Just like Max heard it on a school bus. It's going to happen. So I'm not going to sit there and, pause. And I don't know if 16 Candles, I think it's PG-13. But old day PG-13 ain't today's PG-13. Yeah, PG-13 back in the old days, which doesn't make a lot of sense. A lot friskier than PG-13 today. Like a lot friskier. So I go and I say, all right, so I go and we got every app you could shake a stick at. You got Peacock. You got Disney. You got Netflix.
Max.
And yeah, Max, not even HBO Max. So I'm thinking, all right, well, we'll be able to watch 16 Candles. Somebody is putting that on their streaming service. Go to Apple, $4. All right, what am I paying the $10 or whatever it is for Apple? What am I paying for? Mm-hmm. Okay, Netflix, paying like $15. Nope, got to pay, or it's not available. Hulu, which is supposed to be free. I mean, Hulu's got commercials. Nope. And it made me wonder, and I asked Sarah this, I said, do you think people are longing for the days of just cable bundles and just being able to go and boom, boom, boom? And she said, you sound older every day. You sound like the old man yelling at the cloud. But then she also said, yes, it would be a lot simpler. So this whole concept, we all remember, oh, this cable, I don't watch Lifetime. Why am I paying for this? Why am I doing blah, 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 blah? Well, here we go. Now you're paying for cable. Some of us, I think ages 35 plus, are probably still paying for cable. Yep. Mm-hmm. And you're paying for all the apps. And now it's still pay-per-view mode for everything. Something I want to watch, I'm still going to be paying $4 to watch it. What are we doing? And Again, I'm not going to go back into the airplane and the crap movies that are getting put out. But
Oppenheimer. I can't get Oppenheimer.
Can someone tell me, is it better? Is it better now? Is it?
So my question for you, though.
Well, can you answer before you ask me a question?
No, it's not better. I've agreed with you. Like, this is not the first time this rant has occurred on this program, first of all.
Well, I wanted a peaceful hour, 25-minute, quick 16 candles. Eleanor Max would have died. I think there were some moments that I think would have been hilariously funny. And instead, they're pushing Pretty in Pink at me. Because you put that on there, oh, Pretty in Pink. You can rent that for fun. I don't want Pretty in Pink. Oh, it's 16 candles.
Yeah. Sure. No, I understand. So, my question for you, though, is this. Let's pretend that streaming did not exist.
I'd watch Shawshank Redemption 700 times because it would be on Lifetime or whatever channel.
This is what I'm saying. You would have still had to pay to rent 16 candles
but I wouldn't
demand on your cable.
I wouldn't have $250 worth of apps that I'm supposed to be on demand whenever I want, whenever I want.
Right.
That's not the case. So I feel like everybody that hated the cable bundle was sold a false set of goods. That's what I feel like.
A bill of goods. Yeah.
We all knew it was coming, and it's here, and it was, it's so nice. I only got $3 for Netflix, and I get to watch it whenever I want, wherever I want. You know what? No, you don't.
$3. Wow.
Well, Netflix used to be $3 or $4. Now it's, going to end up being, the ironic part of this whole thing is we're going to end up paying a bunch more, and we're still going to have to buy the stuff that we really want. So it is what it is. Hey, just sit back and take it, because there ain't nothing I'm going to do about it. I know that.
So the problem, there's a couple problems here. One, I think I have Peacock and Hulu, the free versions, which you don't get anything with that. Like, I don't even know why I signed up for those. Like, I don't think when that Badgers game, I'll be listening to you on the radio, buddy. Because when it's on Peacock, I don't think I'm going to get it. There's a game, I think, in October that's on Peacock. Also, there's a new thing that they've started called, I think, Vudu, V-U-D-U.
Pluto. There's a Pluto, too, that we looked. I thought we could get it on Pluto last night.
There's a Tubi.
We looked at Uranus, and Saturn didn't have it.
You just wanted to say Uranus.
I did. Jupiter. Venus.
Yes, the world's champions. But there's ones now that you can sign up for the streaming service, and they include commercials. So
we've been sold a bill of goods, is what happened.
Had you found 16 candles on one of these streaming services that then have commercials sprinkled in, that would have solved your problem?
I don't know.
Which, by the way, that's called cable.
No, I don't know if we would have done that because I think we had like a limited window of time. We're still kind of battling the jet lag issues. So I don't know if I wanted to just sit back.
So you canceled the movie completely?
No, we ended up watching. We ended up watching Julia Stiles' 10 Things I Hate About You, which is really good. That was a little more inappropriate for Eleanor than I would have liked, but that's what we ended up settling on because we finally were like, the hell with it. It's here. Let's click on it.
Okay, and the kids didn't enjoy?
Almost like if I'm strolling through cable and I see it on entertainment TV, I'm like, all right, it's here. Okay, we'll watch it. So we're paying double or triple what we used to. And we're still doing the same things that we did back when we only had 25 channels.
Okay, so again, this is the Tausch rule. Tausch doesn't just complain. Tausch solves problems.
Yes, I want Charter.
What are you doing?
Or Spectrum or whomever your cable service is to figure out a way to get an all-inclusive package. I can watch whatever I want, whenever I want with Netflix, and they're going to be paying. It's just like ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, all of the ESPNs would get a carriage fee. Mm-hmm. You get to go and say, all right, I am going to pick. I want Netflix. I'm not going to go Disney. I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do Disney. I'm not going to do this. I get to. We always
a la
want
carte.
A la carte is what we've always wanted. I want the cable company that's already got the infrastructure in place and your internet to bring that to the table and say, just like you go in and when you build your own burger, I want to build your own cable. I want to build your own package, and it's, all right, I check this off. I'm going to check this off. Yep. And you know what? Then I don't feel bad if I'm paying, let's say I'm paying $100 a month for all my stuff. And it's ESPN, ESPN2. I would have to go Bravo. There's a couple other channels that I would pick. Yeah, for Below Deck exclusively.
Okay, gotcha.
I wouldn't pick. I got rid of all the news stuff. I don't watch any of that. That's Twitter. And I would just go boom, boom. So, okay, it's $5 for ESPN. It's $12 for Netflix. Yep. And then I don't feel bad if I'm paying $4 for a 16 Candles Tuesday night. That's the plan. That's what needs to happen. The merging, there's going to be another monster disruption in this space, and I think that's the way it should go.
So, wait, the problem solver that you are has announced that you would like the cable companies to solve this for you.
No. I just told you what has to happen.
But do you think they're going to go back in time and do that?
The cable bundle is falling apart. We see it. So they're either going to get strung
adapt
out
or die.
They're going to get strung out and die, or they're going to have to say, we have to figure out how we can work with the Netflixes and the Disneys of the world. So, and you start looking at the other places, a lot of those apps, they're starting to dwindle. Maybe it's like LIV Golf and the PGA Tour.
Oh, the merge.
We have fought for so long. Let's figure out how to combine forces and be stronger coming out of it and give, because what we've learned, we as a consumer in our generation, Jason, we took what they gave us. Oh, okay, I'll watch Shawshank for the 500th time. Strophe and our young folks here have said, no, I'm going to pick and choose. I'm going to do this. I'll find my way. I'll do some bootleg stuff. I'll do this. And they have adapted to do this. So now it's time to make the big adaptation. The big adaptation is what it's going to be called.
All right. So do you think that there are lots of other cord-cutting type people who are listening to you going, oh, my God, Sarah's right. He is an old man.
I think everybody 30 and younger are like, they don't watch TV. They stream, and it's like, whatever. I don't care.
Well, we've got
whatever you give me. Now, granted, it's still going to be Netflix puts this up on the top of my queue. Oh, okay, I'll just do that. They don't care. They don't have the history to watch some of the old stuff that you want. They don't care about all that. We still have the idea of appointment television in our head. They've never had it because they didn't know how to deal with it.
Strofe, you're the young person on the panel. Younger than Jesse.
He might be older than Jesse, though, when it comes to like how he lives. Is that fair? I think so.
I think that's fair.
He sleeps all day. Yep, that's why he's mad he's here. All right, what do you got?
Me?
Wait a minute, but we tease Jesse for being 33 going on 50.
Yeah.
Just because he gets up early doesn't mean he lives
fair.
A younger lifestyle.
But Strophe's not out. Like Strophe's not out clubbing. Strophe's out streaming at 9 at night, right? You're not out clubbing, are you?
Just depends on the day, Tausche. Not last night.
I don't sense you're a big club guy.
Not a
great
huge
hat,
club
by
guy.
the way. I gotta get me one.
All
of
right,
those
what do you
hats.
got? I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
you.
you're okay. So, Tausch, I guess I feel like you just described cable from 20 years ago, right? Like I remember having, I think, what is a Dish Network? Was that a thing? And you had like the pick and choose your packages, right? So we had the sports package with the NFL Network and the MLB Network. The only difference is you're just adding Netflix and Hulu to these packages. So aren't we just doing cable all over again? Isn't that what you're just describing?
Yes.
Yeah, but it's a personalized cable.
Isn't that already how cable
Strofe,
works?
what are your viewing habits? That's what I want to know from you.
The only thing I watch live is sports. And I feel like that is most people in 2023, right? Like I don't watch a lot of the news. Maybe I'll have it on after Sunday Night Football, but I don't watch a ton of the news. I watch Sports Center with SVP sometimes. Other than that, I don't watch live TV.
What do you watch when you want? So how do you watch a movie?
That's Netflix or Hulu.
And whatever they give you. You're not
and
paying
you take
for
whatever
it, right?
they give you like you're an old man like us.
Yeah. I'm
back in the 90s.
Yeah, exactly. I'll watch whatever they got. Otherwise, I'll walk to the movie theater I live behind. But.
So you will never You will never buy a cable bundle.
No.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought.
Unless that is necessary in order for me to watch football.
Exactly.
Which it is
That's why I think it's time for the merge, the big adaptation. That's what I think.
The big adaptation may be the worst nickname for an NBA player or an NFL player I've ever heard. All right. Well, I don't know if this adaptation is going to happen. I know one company that adapts and improves and makes sure that you're never complaining about them like Tausch is complaining about Netflix right now. And that is Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Indeed it is. And let's talk a little bit about birds and the bees, not the birds and the bees.
You learned about that on 16 Candles, too.
Well, I won't know because we didn't watch. But let's talk about nature. We want to keep all of that nature. We want to keep lizards. You don't want wasps. You don't want all that stuff in your house, right? Well, the 250 series from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, that include exclusive hidden screens, which can stay inside the window while you're not using it. And if you bundle it up and save, just like the big adaptation, 250 series patio door and 8 double hung windows with exclusive hidden screens. You can pay as low as $188 a month. Now that's a good deal. Visit PellaWI.com today to learn more.
Tausch has made his position very clear. I don't feel like the big adaptation is catchy, but that doesn't sound like a solution to me that you're actually
what do you
hoping
have?
make happen.
Don't just sit there and critique media, dude. What's your solution?
I'm not known for being the big solution.
What are you known for?
That's a great question that I don't want to dive into. I am known for going to practice, which is occurring at 11 a.m. today. Matt LaFleur has moved that up an hour, so I'll get to be there for one last show from practice, as today is the last open to the public practice for the Packers for 2023. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about where our poll ended up on Jordan Love and the hype train. And we'll talk about some of the position battles that Matt LaFleur says are still going on. That's all still ahead on the always readily available Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Pasquale's Cantina, the hottest restaurant in town, where the food is spicy and the drinks are cold. It's time to put on your shades and cruise over to the hippest southwestern joint in town, where the fiesta never ends.
Picture this, the Arizona Ranch Pizzeria, a crisp flour tortilla with grilled fajita chicken, Jones cherrywood smoked bacon, barbecue sauce, cheddar jack cheese, spiced ranch, and scallions. All served like a pizza. Pasquale's, Middleton, and Verona, bringing the flavors of the Southwest to the Midwest. Pasquale's Cantina.
I'm coming.
Hi, Mark Tauscher. Tausch, you have mosquitoes in here.
It's like an insect zoo right now at my house. Here comes that wasp again. Incoming.
Shoo, you need Pella's 250 series of windows with exclusive hidden screens, protecting you from nature.
Yes, please. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin to the rescue.
Get a 250 series patio door and 8 double hung windows with hidden screens as low as $188 per month. PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offer ends 8/31/23.
Bringing summer gatherings to the next level is just another thing we do at Celebrations Entertainment. Hi, it's Jeffrey. With rental items like sound equipment, photo booths, and even yard games, you can make your event the party that everyone talks about. Any event like graduation parties, block parties, or even a backyard barbecue can be elevated with fun, interactive items to make everyone ask, hey, how'd you pull this off? Just tell them celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance because you'll feel protected no matter how the wind blows. All so you can keep enjoying the home of your dreams. And our expert agents can help you save up to 23% when you bundle home with auto. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance. Get a quote? Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
The 2023 season is underway and Fun for All is back with the Forward Madison FC Family Special on sale now. Bring the family to exciting professional soccer at Breeze Stevens Field. Enjoy a ticket, Pepsi product, sandwich, and a Forward Madison scarf for just $21. Forward Madison has fun for the whole family. Enjoy Lionella Bessie, the team's dairy cow, our new kids zone, and more at every Forward Madison match. For tickets, go to forwardmadisonfc.com. Forward Madison, fun for all.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit condonjeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers trained to keep the power flowing, engines running, and in every other trade needed to accomplish the mission. These soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
I'm just a kid and life is a nightmare. I'm just a kid, I know that it's not fair. Nobody cares 'cause I'm alone and the world is having more fun.
One last question about the big adaptation from The Big Solution. Do you think most people are like you, where if there is a movie that you want to watch and it is not readily available, you just punt? Or like Strofe, who is going to just take whatever Netflix makes available to him because he figures, well, okay, I want to watch Rocky IV because Wilde and Tausch talk about how great of a film that is all the time. But it's not available, so I'll
Creed,
just settle.
by the way, Creed 3 is really good.
Really?
Yeah.
You watched
that
it on
was
an airplane,
available
did you?
on the airplane, yeah. I can't wait for Oppenheimer 2. So
All
then
right.
I can watch that too.
Sure. So which do you think that is? Because I think I have an idea for you that I would like you to critique.
Why would
since
I
that's
think
you
what
wanna do.
is?
Do you think most people like you, I want to watch 16 Candles. It's not available on any of the streaming services for free, so forget it. I'll watch 10 Things I Hate About Streaming Services or whatever it was you watched.
It was about you, but
Right.
not you personally, but about this dude. Okay, continue.
So do you think most people are like you or not? There's a question.
No, I couldn't tell. It was another one of your 15-minute rambles.
Don't take out your
I'm not
frustrations with the
frustrated.
streaming
There's no frustration.
on me.
I think most people are like Strofe. I think
just
it's
take
just
what
like but then I always look at it like this. I have a more skeptical mind than Strofe at this point in Strofe's life.
Are you saying you're smarter?
No, I'm not saying I'm smarter. It's just different. I think why I want to do my Brian Windhorst. Why would Netflix be throwing Suits at us as much as it is? Suits is an old
It's a great
blanking
show, Tausch.
Why are they putting that up on the top of the list?
Because it's a great show. Very underrated.
So
in
was
its day.
Andy Griffith back in the 50s. That ain't
Fair,
up there.
Fair. Honestly,
It's available on Sundance
So
TV, though.
what on
a
earth?
regular
Like, why would they be putting their new stuff up there? Why would they make everybody try to watch Suits?
Okay, so you
I don't know. Why do you think? I don't know.
So you wanted you asked me to deliver something, and then you decided to ask about Suits being pushed upon
my
you.
point is, I think Netflix, everybody else, just like, oh, we'll throw whatever junk we can. Look at these idiots follow. Oh, they think this is good. Huh, let's put this. Oh, Bird Box. All this other
Bird
stuff
Box sucked.
I'm
with
but
you
then
on
they
that.
get that to trend, and so. Netflix and everybody else they have it's like they're little puppeteers, man. Oh, look at these idiots. Oh, we want to push this agenda. Oh, we'll do this. Oh, we want to do that. We'll do this. So take that for what it's worth. So no, I am not. I think most of the people. I have my old school habits. I like the new stuff, and if something's real poppy, I'm open to checking it out, but don't try to throw some 10-year-old sitcom at me and tell me that it's great. No, if it was that great, I'd have watched it back then.
Okay, so can I bring my idea to you for critique?
Sure.
I think there should be a movie dispersal draft.
What does that mean?
I think every major streaming service should have every movie should be on one of the major streaming services. Because I don't think if you wanted to watch 16 Candles yesterday, you were going to pay $3.99. But if you found that, all right, we've got HBO/Max, whatever. We've got Disney, we've got Netflix,
Paramount,
Peacock,
Disney,
right.
yeah.
So every movie should be for free, included in your subscription on one of the primary streaming services. And that way you can decide.
Why would a streaming service ever agree to that?
Because I'm wondering, and that was my question for you about why you punted on 16 Candles. If you aren't going to pay $3.99 to rent 16 Candles, are most people doing that? Like, how often do they make money off of, I'm going to throw $4 at this because I want to watch it
it's a good question.
now.
I don't know how many people are just like the heck with it. It's a total principle thing for me. I can't do it. It would make me. I just don't like that whole concept. It feels like I'm being taken advantage of.
Right. So I feel like I would sign up for some of these other streaming services if I knew that I would be covered, that whenever I wanted to watch a movie, if I wanted to watch Forrest Gump, if I wanted to watch Rocky IV or Creed III, if I wanted to watch 16 Candles or Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, I know that I will always be able to get it through one of the sources that I'm paying for.
I appreciate you trying to come up with a solution. I do. It's just not going to work because there's too many hands in that pot. That part's not going to work. I like the idea of it. You need the big boy cable distributors to come up and say, we're going to be able to subsidize you, Netflix, Disney, with this. Basically, like the carriage fees that they've had in the past. That's going to be your big adaptation solution. I don't know if they're going to be open to it because Netflix is going to say, you know what, I'm just going to kill you. Well, I'll be able to slash your throat.
They're struggling, though.
I'll wait for the blood
their stock is down.
Well, at some point, everything, because the consumer is saying we've had enough. And when that happens is typically when you have to make the big adaptation. And I'm there. I don't know how to adapt, though, because I don't know what the adaptation possibilities are. So we'll see. It's me being an old guy. I understand that. I pull my hamstring in a hot tub. I can't. I get it. That's where I'm at. But I was very displeased with last night's 16 Candles performance.
Well, if I knew how to Photoshop more effectively, I would take Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon and Grumpier Old Men and put the two of us on their faces. I'm not good at that. What I do think I'm pretty good at is leading a conversation about the Green Bay Packers. We have Uncle Homer coming in early. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Oh, I have no idea. Is he?
Well, I know you. Believe me, I wasn't asking.
Tausch, your thoughts?
I always love having Homer join us.
Well, he's scheduled to appear. If you missed the rousing discussion and you want to chime in on our issues with streaming and Grumpy Old Man and the more important, the big adaptation Tausch is predicting will come, well, you can either rewind or you can listen on Gruber Law Offices, WisconsinOnDemand.com, and the Wisconsin On Demand app, presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Thanks to David and his team for supporting the show and for supporting Wisconsin On Demand. Gruber Law Offices, one call.
Hey, Jace.
That's all.
I'm going to tell you this. I saw that clip. I saw a little bit of Hard Knocks last night. Randall Cobb, is there anybody that could come off more lovable than Randall Cobb?
One of my favorites, no doubt about it. I'm biased, so if you feel that way about him, because you never played with him.
I did not.
I've
gotten to know him a little bit, and obviously not as well as you. The deal with his kids last night and Randall Cobb, it just shows you the power of Netflix and HBO, and being able to tell a story and brand yourself. Randall Cobb, I think everybody kind of thinks he's like 75 years old. He's only, what is he, 32?
33 maybe?
You would think Randall Cobb is like 60 years old the way people talk about him. Now, granted, I think his best days have been long gone for a couple of years, but his leadership and everything else that you saw last night was, I thought, really interesting.
He entered the league at age 20. He was born in 1990. He is 33 years old. Someone who is not quite 3 times as old, but slightly more than twice as old as Randall Cobb. Uncle Homer joins us next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. Win game day gear by entering to win at Tito'sTailgate.com. Enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill or a Brewmate. For official rules, visit Tito'sTailgate.com. Must be 21 plus to enter.
Mark Tauscher here for the great team at Everlight Solar. Perhaps the start of a new football season also means the start of a new way to power your home. How would you like to start saving money while also helping to save the planet? All you have to do is make the switch with Everlight Solar. Our family is one of many who have made the switch to solar over the last several years. We knew we had wanted to, but weren't exactly sure where to even start. That's when we met with the great team at Everlight, and they outlined the entire process and educated us on the benefits of making the switch. It was super simple. Join us in saving a ton of money and creating a greener environment for our family and the community by switching to solar. Learn more and schedule a free consultation at everlightsolar.com. That's everlightsolar.com.
The traditions.
There's no team I love more than this team. We got a national championship to chase.
The rivalries.
This is college football as good as it gets.
Only 3 days until week 0. College football lives here. ESPN Radio.
Set summer in motion with the most electrifying Honda vehicles yet. Like the CR-V and Accord, with available hybrid powertrains designed to deliver more thrilling performance and more innovative tech. Summer's here. Make every adventure more electrifying with Honda, the most awarded brand in car and driver 10 Best history.
See your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer today. Honda gets Wisconsin.
See dealer for financing details.
Take it to the house this season and enjoy tailgating from your own backyard. Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. You can win game day gear for your next gathering by entering to win at Tito'sTailgate.com. Be sure to enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill, a Brewmate back tap for batch cocktails, or a Tito's football jersey. For official rules, visit Tito'sTailgate.com. Must be 21 years old to enter. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Ready to zero in on your home improvements? Then set your sights on your home equity, because now you can get a home equity line of credit with 0% intro APR for 3 months and 8% APR after that. It's the lowest intro APR around. That's just math. Visit uwcu.org to get started with your home equity line of credit today. UW Credit Union, here for every you. Equal housing lender. Call 1-800-533-6773 for details about credit costs and terms.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, home of the Big Win and Madison Casino Guru, is transforming guests into winners. Making an ordinary day into a big win day is easy with a 95% average payout. And with over 140 daily jackpots, the number of people winning has never been bigger. So what are you waiting for? Escape to Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison for your next big win.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison. My eye doctor gives me a lot of great advice, but the best piece of advice she ever gave me was where to go for LASIK. TLC Laser Eye Centers. Did you know that TLC has performed over 2.3 million LASIK procedures nationally, including treatment for over 10,000 doctors? Doctors recommend TLC because that's who they trust with their eyes. So book your free consultation now at TLC Laser Eye Centers, the doctor's choice for LASIK.
Right now, TLC is offering 20% off LASIK when treated in August. That can be over $900 off when treating both eyes. So call 888-TLC-2020 or visit saveontlc.com. That's saveontlc.com. The doctor's choice for LASIK. Must mention this promotion and be treated in August of 2023 to qualify. 20% off standard price of procedure. Cannot be combined with any other offers. Go to saveontlc.com for details.
Homer on Wilde and Tausch is presented by Olson Toon. Since their founding in 1997, Olson Toon has become one of Wisconsin's premier design, build, landscaping, and outdoor living firms. Go to olsontoon.com to get started on your outdoor living project today.
Whatever you do, make sure you do it right. Whatever you do, make sure you do it right. You're making love.
You know what that music means. You hear him every weekday 2 to 4 on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee on Homer and Tony. You hear him on the Marquette Men's Basketball Radio Network calling the Golden Eagles games. Still got to send my note. I was going to send a note to Shaka Smart, and Homer got me the info, and I haven't done it yet. I got to put that on my to-do list. And you see him on YouTube, where you can also find us most of the time. But you can find him, God Talk, My Faith with Homer and Pip. It is Steve the Homer True. Homer, good morning. How are you today?
I am awesome because I am capable of being so helpful to Tausch.
Ooh, I
don't
like
know
that.
he'll listen.
Give me a problem.
All right,
Give me a solution.
All right, first of all, you need to know that movies like the one you were looking for, it's just random how there seems to be no connection over, like, when
None.
a movie was or how popular it is that you might have to pay for it.
Yeah, and Homer,
Okay, now
you have to Google to find out what service it's even on. And you it's not here. Oh, you pay here. Oh, it's free on
and
Max.
so you may have to rent now. Now you always try YouTube because it's possible somebody has it up on YouTube and you can get it for free. But
There's
that's not the
commercials
guarantee.
on that.
So,
then no, yeah.
Right. Well, come on. Now I didn't hear you dealing.
No,
with
no. Okay, continue.
I mean,
You're fair.
So movies are random. If
Okay.
you want to learn about any of this stuff, Clark Howard is the expert. You go to clark.com, and all these things that come up, you can't go any place better than his.
Just Clark.
I don't even know if he's on radio.
It's just
Clark.com.
Clark.com. What a weird.
Clark.com.
It's like Homer.com. That's such a simple.
ClarkHoward.com may work as well.
Well,
and understand
Ask
that all
Clark.
this streaming.
Yeah, there it is.
Clark.com. No, that's a Clark bar. You can buy Clark bars if you
Let's
go
see
to
what
Clark.com.
Homer. Wait a minute. Before we go
Now-
any farther, okay. There is Clark.com. I was curious what Homer.com was, so I'm there, and I'm very confused. It looks like I can buy different pendants to wear on my necklace. So Homer.com is taken. So we will not get to give Homer.com. All right, Clark.com.
But anything, the other things, you go to Clark Howard. The greatness of Clark Howard is he doesn't have advertisers that determine what he says. He says what he thinks. You can't get anybody who's unbiased as much as him. What you'll also learn is that as far as streaming, everybody that has a phone is trying to use, if they can get you to use their phone, they'll give you the streaming stuff. Verizon has started it. And if you'll use their phone, for example, you can now get the internet in your house for like $30 a month, $39 or Wi-Fi, if you do it through your phone. Now, I don't know if the other companies have started like Verizon has, but I get free ESPN, I get free Hulu, I get free Disney.
For how long?
Only for a year, though.
For like 6 months.
No, forever.
No, it's not forever.
It's not forever.
I think it's forever now.
No, it's not
All
forever.
right, fine, print, whatever. So
Well,
the
that
point
makes a
is, that's
difference.
the move people are making.
Okay.
I'll look at it. It seems like that. So, but anyway, then you have to decide, and only Clark Howard would know. Maybe you're still better off to get the cheapest phone and then just pay whatever the monthly thing is. But at some point, we're going to go to, and this is the benefit, things are much better now than they used to be. Because you're going to only pay for what you want.
All right, that's what I just said. That's what I hope happens. Yeah.
That's the way we're going.
I
Now,
like that.
whether it's cheaper or not, I don't know.
Yeah, it
For
won't be.
example, you used to have long distance only with AT&T. They determined it was a monopoly, and so then you had all these other options. And in the end, you figured out that you ended up paying about the same for your phone as you used to with AT&T, though you had to do it different ways. So I suspect that in the end, it'll be a little cheaper than cable and stuff because of the connection. Go to Clark.com.
Okay,
If you
Clark.com.
disagree with anything I say, fine. Just
No,
go to Clark.com.
your
You're way
points.
ahead of me enough.
Your points are interesting. You made me chuckle because I'm guessing Strophe and anybody that's like 28 and under is like, what do you mean you got to pay for long distance? What does that even mean?
I understand.
Yeah.
But I could talk to you because then you would understand.
No, I know the old dial
They
phone
will
with the
deal with the
long
same
cord
stuff.
and yeah. All right,
Yeah.
Jason.
Well,
let's get to some Packer talk. I can see you're
all right,
scratching your
Packer
face.
talk, all right, wanna
No,
help
no, no,
out
no,
as
no,
well.
no.
Yeah,
no,
you're
just-
scratching your
just-
face.
No,
that's
that's because I'm reading interesting topics on Clark.com while you guys
Yes,
are arguing.
yeah.
Important
Yeah,
things
fabulous.
like, my neighbor's dead tree is about to fall on my house. What should I do?
Yep.
And Do I need to change the oil in my rental car if I drive it enough?
Yep.
No.
Yep.
You never change. You're never changing the oil on a rental car. Ever.
But those are the bigger things, like what rental car to use, how to do. You need to know about Clark Howard. He was a nobody. He was one of the first people to come up with cheaper airline
Clark Howard
tickets
paying
using
you?
the internet.
Are you bought off by Clark Howard?
He's
What
Clark
is going
Howard.
on here? I mean, you have a love affair with Clark Howard.
You know what? You know the only thing better than Clark Howard? You know what's better than Clark Howard? Aldi. Aldi grocery stores. Better than Clark Howard.
Okay.
Why anybody gets groceries from anywhere other than Aldi is beyond me. You save 50%.
And Aldi's not paying you either, right? Just so I want to make
no,
sure.
they won't advertise.
Okay, so Aldi's
I
not
don't know
working
why.
with you. Clark Howard's not working with you, but you're
Correct,
pumping both
and that's
of them.
why what I say has more credibility.
No, yeah, I'm sure. Yep. Fair
Why
enough.
would I bring it up?
I
What's
don't know.
the point?
It's a great question.
The point
I
is
don't know.
to help people. Like I'm going to help you about the quarterback situation with the Packers. Jordan Love's name is 2 years. Okay, there is no way they're signing him to anything this year. And your discussion with Jason, he tried to explain it to you, but you refused to listen. He is not Aaron Rodgers. There's nobody with the Packers, despite what Murphy says, that is interested in signing him to anything this year. They don't think he's that good. They just don't want to have happen what happened to the Giants, where the guy had one good year and then they pay him the money. If he gets a new contract, it will not occur until the middle of next season because they want to see him play more than a season, and they recognize they have so many young players it would be unfair. If he plays good enough to get a contract this season, then he's Hall of Fame potential, and that will never happen because he's not that good. So any contract signed by Jordan Love, when they do it, would be the middle of next season because they have the new deal they did, so they don't have to worry about waiting till the end of this season and having to give him a ton of money when they don't know for sure. Whatever you want to bet, there will be no new contract for Jordan Love at any point in the middle of this season. My limit is $1,000.
All right, let me ask you this. What if it's before next fall? Before next fall, before whatever this season happens, the off season, and before they get to training camp next year, are you willing to make that bet?
Not the same bet. I think there's a chance of that, but I still think they would like to probably wait. There's no reason to rush. They can do it at some point during the 2024 season. But yes, that I will not make a bet at that time because
the problem. So here's the problem, Homer. I would love to make that wager with you, but I think I don't know how good Jordan Love's going to be. If Jordan Love is really good, Jason and I agree they'll extend him before the end of the season. If he is,
but he's not going to be that good.
But I'm saying if he is, and he's been better than I think a lot of skeptics have said. I believe.
He'd have to be 5 times
let me
better
tell
than
you
that.
this, Homer. I know that the Green Bay Packers hope that they need to extend him before the end of the season. That's what I know.
No kidding, yes. And I hope I have hair by the end of the week.
That's
What
fair
are the
too.
chances of that?
Okay, I don't know. Well, you got that good rug. It's looked good.
Thank you.
Jason, I guess your point, my point wasn't that yesterday, though, Homer. It was about Mark Murphy's say in what happens. And if Goody is believing and saying, hey, they're 6-2, we're going to give Jordan Love a big fat extension, and Mark Murphy's looking at it and saying, well, I'd like to see more. Mark Murphy's going to win out. And Jason and I just disagreed on that.
No, I think that Murphy could have had an impact on Rodgers. I don't believe he'll have any impact on Jordan Love.
So you're in Jason's
That's
club.
untrue.
You're joining Jason's club.
Yes.
Okay.
But I mean, I think it's very possible Murphy had an issue with Rodgers. But in terms of an issue with Jordan Love, that is 100% on Goody.
God, it's great to have you on my team, which I can't believe I just said. Homer, you got time for a little more Packers talk?
I do. It seems like I have another topic, but I'm old and I can't remember what it was. The break will give me a good chance. It's about
Perfect.
helping Tausch with something else.
Oh, I need help.
Oh, it's about going to Europe.
Oh,
That's what it
Europe. Okay.
Well,
What
Homer,
happened?
Homer gives us his insights into traveling to Europe. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, home of the Big Win and Madison Casino Guru, is transforming guests into winners. Making an ordinary day into a big win day is easy with a 95% average payout. And with over 140 daily jackpots, the number of people winning has never been bigger. So what are you waiting for? Escape to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison for your next big win.
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. Former Wisconsin linebacker Nick Herbig is making his impact in his first year as a Pittsburgh Steeler. In this past weekend's preseason game against the Buffalo Bills, Herbig had 3 tackles, 1 sack, and 1 forced fumble. Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin, when he was asked about the 4th-round pick's coming-out party this preseason.
You know, we like doing business with Wisconsin, man. Just schematically, it's the same thing that made us comfortable when we drafted TJ and Loudermilk and Benton. And so I can't tell you that I'm overly shocked at what we're seeing from him.
Bundle a 250 series patio door and 8 double-hung windows with hidden screens for as low as $188 per month at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin at PellaWI.com.
Hi, I'm Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock with Retirement Income Strategies. And what sets us apart is we're an independent, family-run office. We help clients like you understand the financial world and build a portfolio that's in your best interest. To learn more, go to MadisonMoneyGuy.com.
Olson Toon has been customizing both residential and commercial outdoor living spaces since 1997. Matt Hamilton here from ESPN Madison. For over 50 years of combined experience in their management and design teams, Olson Toon has become one of Wisconsin's premier building and landscaping outdoor living firms. Landscaping and maintenance, irrigation, concrete work, pools, and more. If you have an outdoor living need, Olson Toon is here to help. Go to olsontoon.com to get started on your home project today. That's olsontoon.com.
If you're looking to fill the vacant space in your commercial building, the local agents at RE/MAX and the Preferred Commercial Group are eager to grow your bottom line. Head to commercialwisconsin.com/ESPN and find an investment partner to lead the way to your property dreams today.
You can drive cutting-edge design. 2023 Audis are on the lot and ready for delivery. You can save $7,500 on select Audi EVs with the AFS EV lease bonus. See dealer for detail and exclusions. Eligibility is subject to credit approval through Audi Financial Services. Cannot be combined with national customer credit. Offer expires September 5th. Stop in and test drive today. Check out our website to see our current electric vehicle inventory and our monthly specials. The search for your Audi begins and ends at Zimrick Audi of Madison, off the Beltline and Rimrock Road. Drive yours today.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Mark Tosher here for Chalmers Jewelers. Well, it's always a good time to get that special someone in your life a beautiful gift. And when I'm in need of a new piece of jewelry, Chalmers Jewelers is my go-to place. Whether I want a timeless classic or a one-of-a-kind piece, Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison has just what I'm looking for. My life has been made so much easier thanks to the great team over at Chalmers Jewelers, and is the reason I keep going back for more. Visit chalmersjewelers.com to find your perfect new piece of jewelry today.
Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Whatever you do, make sure you do it right. Whatever you do, make sure you do it right. You're making love or starting the schoolyard fight. Make sure you do it right. Make sure you do it right.
Continuing with Uncle Homer, Matt LaFleur will speak at 10:25. Practice will kick off at 11, despite conflicting reports. Practice is at 11. Bring your own bewaredness and your hydration. Homer, you also have advice on Tausch's European vacations in the future, because he's gone on 3 of them in the last calendar year?
No, I don't have any advice. I have a curiosity. I don't know. It's got to be his wife. I can't see Tauscher as somebody that's wanted to go to Europe that much. That's my first question. What, and the kids, seems to me they're maybe a little young to enjoy Europe, and maybe
What?
You're being critiqued.
Just wait a second. What the hell are you asking?
No,
me?
it's not a critique. It's curiosity. It's
that's
not
definitely a
negative at all.
critique. No, you're judging.
No, I'm not. Oh, we're sorry. I forgot the part about you determine what I'm saying.
What? No,
so I apologize.
What did you
Yes.
just say?
Go ahead.
I can't believe that you'd want to go. That's judging me that I don't
Correct.
want to go to Europe. So how am I
But
putting
not
words
in
in
a
your
bad
mouth?
way. That's not.
You just
not a bad
doesn't-
way.
It's not a negative.
What do you mean
So
it's
I'm-
not a
I'm
negative?
accepting
You have
the-
no culture
because
and have no
I'm
interest
asking,
in.
No. I'm asking the question, which means
That's
I'm
not-
curious as to your answer because it means I don't know you right.
Okay. So here's what I'll say. We had some stuff planned. Pandemic hit, and we were limited with what we're doing. Our kids love to travel. We love traveling. We love doing national parks. We've done it every year. We went to Paris because that's something that we wanted to do. And when we went, we had a great time. The kids traveled and remember and are in a great stage in their life to do it. And so we decided when we get big Pella windows to have some time, we're going to go and do something big. That's what we decided until Max gets into high school, where if he's doing sports, you can't really get that time off.
Right.
That's why we've decided to do it. And yes, Homer, I love going to Europe. I can't wait to get to Rome. I still haven't gotten to Italy, which is something that was the first spot I wanted to go. With their holiday season, it's not great to go in August. At least that's what our people told us. So, yes, you couldn't be more wrong. Fair?
Well, that's good. No, that's fine. Now I realize.
Want to
I
get
really
to
messed up
Wimbledon
with
yet?
my daughter.
Still haven't went to
Yeah,
Wimbledon
need to go
in
there.
season. Yeah, we're well. That's baseball season kind of gets in the way of that, so we can't do it. Not at this point in our lives.
No, I got it. No, now I needed that information because now I realized I messed up with our daughter because she loves to travel and I just didn't travel, and I don't know. I should have asked her, or I didn't know at that young age. So congratulations.
Thanks.
You know your kids love to travel, and you're doing for them. So
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Back to the Packers.
Good deal.
Before we get back to the Packers,
I was hoping you had some great spot that we needed to go hit, like where we
Oh,
need
no,
to
I
go
didn't.
and all
You're
this.
better
And
traveler than I am. No, I'm only
instead
going to
you're
England.
saying,
I'm going
well,
to
Tosh,
London.
you have no culture and have no interest outside of like doing sports stuff.
I didn't say no culture.
But that is
So move on. Move on.
Jason, in essence, is that not
Jason?
what Homer said? I know your wife and
Well,
kids
fine.
must be forcing you to go. Isn't that what he just was implying?
that's not what he was implying at all. That's how you
Boy,
inferred
he
it.
joins your club one
that's right.
time, and now
No.
you're a toady. You are
No one-
Homer's toady.
Jason, how do you like it? He's going to tell you why you think what you do. You don't have to be a part of it anymore. I was going to tell you about the Packers, but Tausch can tell you what I think. So go ahead, ask
Hey,
Tausch.
you think Sean Clifford should be the starting quarterback? That's what you think.
No, I do not. However, he's more entertaining to watch
Didn't you
than has
say?
been in the preseason.
Didn't you say earlier this before I went on my sabbatical? Didn't you say he was the worst backup quarterback in the history of the
did.
NFL?
Yes.
Oh,
right,
God.
and I still think he's a horrible backup because you want a person that has some experience to come and play. Yes,
You want to have a
don't
good
want him
quarterback
to
that can
back
help
up.
you win. You want to have a good quarterback that you can win a game or two with as a backup.
He can't be that this year. He's too young.
Okay.
Can't be that.
And yet at the same time he's older than Jordan Love, which is crazy to me.
Correct.
Homer,
And he's been more entertaining to watch in the preseason. That says nothing other than he's been more entertaining to watch in the preseason.
yeah, he's got some Favre to him. No one would deny that. All right, my
Yeah.
question for you, Homer, is this: are we putting way too much emphasis on what we've seen in these 2 preseason games? Because I thought Tausch made a great point yesterday when he said we can't have it both ways. 1 minute we're saying these aren't like real regular season games. Everything's vanilla. They're not important. And then the next breath we're talking about how good Jordan Love looks, and we've got this hype train that is barreling down the tracks about how good he's been in the 2 preseason games.
There is no hype train. Who's created a hype train? Who's decided it's a hype train? A couple of opinions of a couple of people doesn't create a hype train.
So it is all over the national.
What?
The all the different yelling shows and Get Up. I believe we haven't gotten to this yet because we're talking to you earlier than we normally do on Wednesdays. But I believe Dan Graziano, who Tausch is a big fan of, is actually one of the first people on ESPN who has said, let's slow our roll here on the hype train, because there's no doubt that the ESPN narrative, which is not just some guy on Twitter, that's the preeminent sports network, everyone is talking about Jordan Love in an extremely positive light. You played Dominique Foxworth for me yesterday doing it.
Right, and we also played next to it that Adam Shine, who said he doesn't even play football.
Yes,
right?
Adam
can't
Shine is
pick
an
and you
outlier.
can't- Oh, okay. I didn't know the definition of how
He's he's completely ill-informed, and if anybody's a toady for Rodgers, it is him. He loves Aaron Rodgers, and he's a Jets fan.
All right, good to factor that in. Dominic Foxworth also believes that you have to be good if you're a first-round pick. He also said in that comment that the Packers have had a championship-caliber team in the last 4 or 5 years. I don't care if you've played football or not. Those are two pretty stupid comments.
What you guys aren't understanding. You guys understand this. You've been in the media business a heck of a lot longer than I have. Who sells? Do the Carolina Panthers move the needle? Do people want to talk about Bryce Young? No. People want to talk about the Dallas Cowboys. They want to talk about New York football teams and the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
So they want and desperately really want the Packers to be good, and Jordan Love's storyline can drive that. Until if he's not, then they can move on. But the Green Bay Packers move the needle. You guys know that better than anybody. That's why you're seeing this push, PR push. And yes,
but
Homer, there is
going to be horrible. You could say it's going to be horrible, and it's going to be a terrible decision for the Packers, and they've ruined their organization because their GM, who have traded a Hall of Fame wide receiver or quarterback, you could do that as well. You don't have to be positive to sell the Packers.
That's fair.
Do you?
That's fair. It's a fair point, but it's. I think because people think that might be the case, it's almost more credible and more exciting to get Packer, because you want Packer Nation to care what you think. Because Packer Nation is a monster, as we all know.
Yeah.
That's why. And Jason has seen this. When you do negativity, people get very irritated.
Packer fans, yes, they prefer positive. But my point is, it doesn't mean that there's a train that you've changed people's opinions that count.
I think Jordan Love's preseason. Jordan Love's preseason has changed people's opinion, for sure. Yes.
He's thrown 20. How many?
It doesn't matter. You get
18. He's thrown 18 passes.
You get a limited sample size, and it's been much better than I think a lot of the doomsdayers that thought he couldn't play a lick. It's been much better than that. He looks competent. He still doesn't. I mean, again, he's hovering in that low 50% completion percentage, which is, as someone that's a little skeptical, that's where you would look and say, that's not going to be good enough, and it's not. But the other stuff, you're seeing more stuff. We asked for wild throws. Jason has been telling us there's been more wild throws. There's been more big plays. He looks the part. He's playing the part. He has control of the huddle. There's so many things that I think, for as much as we didn't know, at least that part has been answered preseason-wise. The preseason ain't the regular season. That would be my pushback when anybody asks any other questions.
Well, I would say you have an appropriate view of a hype when the change from the Packers wins goes from the different over and under 7.5 that it is now.
There's still dogs in Chicago, too. They're still underdogs. The opener.
Right.
So,
so
Vegas tells you a lot. That tells you where people that think they know put their money.
Right.
And it's still that they don't think the Green Bay Packers are going to be very good.
Right. They're still a dog. Now,
and by the way,
deciding how big a dog.
And as Mark Murphy said the other day after the golf deal, the Packers love this new role. And I think for now, it's great. I don't want to be underdog city for 5 years.
Right.
Fine.
I think that's crap.
1 year. No. I firmly believe Homer, sometimes it's when you've been at the top or you've been hovering at the top of a mountain. At some point, you don't want to keep climbing. You want to say, all right, let's take a little and say, nobody believes in you. You always, as a coach and as an organization, you want to be best of class. But there's sometimes comes a point, I don't know what the heck's going on with this mic stand. Sometimes there comes a point where it's nice to say, nobody believes in you, and you can be that plucky underdog, even as a juggernaut, as an organization.
Okay.
That's where Green Bay is.
So I'll defer to you on living that because I've never been experienced being that good for that long. I just can't see how you want to have people think you're going to win 7 games.
Yeah.
Unless you're certain that you're way better. And I don't know that there's any way that.
Well,
I was going to add one thing. It just seemed to me that the team seems a lot happier. Like it's like a bunch of young players, and there's a lot of energy on the sidelines and stuff like that. I didn't know if either of you agree with that.
Yeah, they don't have the burden. Yeah, they don't have the burden of expectation, and that can be freeing. And when you're young, you don't know any better. These guys don't know any different. They don't know any better. So, but you know what? They start winning some games, and you're going to start feeling those expectations.
Yeah. Well,
things will change.
We'll see how much fun it is if for some reason they're 3-7 as well.
If you win the game.
I'm going to tell you right now, if they're 3-7, it ain't fun. 4-12 sucks.
So we won't see the same juice on the sidelines. Huh?
No, much like it's hard. Much like it sucks to try and do a radio program with a broken microphone. If you're watching on video, you should be entertained.
I don't know what the heck. I'm tightening things. I got an Allen wrench out, and it just keeps.
All right, Homer. Before we go, what's the hottest you've ever been? Practice is going to be in the 100s here in Green Bay.
1976 for him, I think, when he was playing tennis at Indiana against.
What is
Indiana.
the hottest you've ever been?
No. The hottest by far. It was in Tucson, Arizona, and it was because it was so hot. I felt like I was a cookie baking in an oven.
Ooh.
People say
What kind of
humidity
cookie?
makes it worse. No, dry heat makes it.
Oatmeal raisin.
Dry heat makes it worse, and then you have a little wind blowing, and it chaps your lips. And I would say it probably got to
Dry heat is not worse than muggy heat.
It was for me.
No,
It
okay.
isn't for most people.
All right.
You're telling him again what he thinks.
Who on earth?
No, but in this case, he's right.
Thank you,
People
Homer.
would agree.
Thank
we would
you.
go to Phoenix to play tennis, and it was more humid, and everybody else thought it was worse. And I said the little humidity, I liked it. And again, the key was because the wind and dry, it chaps your lips. And
Put some lip balm on. Grab a lip balm.
Yeah, I put some lip balm on.
Okay.
It's just so, but Tausch is the majority. He's right, but that's the hottest I've been. But what's different back then? I didn't get 20 notes on what I have to do so I don't die.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be 100. Oh! I got to go right now because they told me on local TV the 16 things I have to do today because it's going to be 100.
All right, good luck with those.
Thank you, bye.
Yeah, Jason, you always hear people say, boy, I wish there was muggier and thicker air.
No. I agree with you, but you were telling him that he was wrong, and that's not how he feels. Because apparently he has easily chapped lips or something.
He must have some real lip issues. All right, get to break. I'll tell you my sloshy shoe story from training camp as we get back. Because your clock management is McCarthy-esque.
All right, well, I guess we'll have to wait on the Tausch's swim pants story till a later date because we're going to get the sloshy shoe story to kick off the 10 o'clock hour, which will begin at about 10:08 or so. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Grassland Dairy is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin and sustained by innovation. Since 1904, the Wheatrick family has worked with hundreds of dairy farmers to consistently produce the highest quality dairy products. Grassland's commitment to quality starts with the way their dairy farmers care for their cows and carries through every step of their innovative processing and delivery. They are proud to offer a wide range of reliable and nutritious dairy ingredients. Grassland Dairy is family owned in Wisconsin and has been crafting butter for 5 generations.
Hey, this is former Badger Brad Norton.
Norman, it's a fake. Great call and great execution.
execution.
You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Yeah, it is. And I'm Alex Strope, your Sports Center update brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out at 220 State Street and online on their website, goodmansjewelers.com. The final training camp practice open to the public starts about an hour from now up in Green Bay ahead of Saturday's preseason finale for the Packers as they host the Seattle Seahawks Saturday night at Lambeau Field. Head coach Matt LaFleur met with the media yesterday and talked about the importance of this final training camp and preseason game and that there are still positions up for battle. Here's LaFleur.
It's training camp, and we still have another game to get prepared for, and I still think there's a lot of battles and positions to be fought for. So we're attacking it the same way we have up to this point.
There you have it from the head coach. Continued coverage on all things green and gold leading up to Saturday's preseason finale over at ESPNWisconsin.com. Baseball, the Brewers are streaking 4 in a row they've won after a 7-3 win last night over the Minnesota Twins at AmFam Field, the final game of this 2-game series. Matinee game, 1:10 p.m. pitch this afternoon. Wilde and Tausch continues now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
I've been grinding so long, been trying it for years. And I got nothing to show, just climbing this rope right here. And if there's a man upstairs, he kept bringing me rain. But I've been sending up prayers and something's changed. I think I finally found my hallelujah. I've been waiting for this moment all my life. Now all my dreams are come.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. And it begins with Tausch telling us a story which I'm assuming is you sweated so much that your shoes were squishy.
So, because on Wisconsin's Morning News with Vinny and the boys at 7:50 this morning on WTMJ, we were talking about the heat and what was the worst and all this other stuff. And I don't know if you remember this. I know I do. It was hot, and it was under the Mike Sherman era. We started practice. We went about 5 periods, which is about pretty close to an hour. And it wasn't going well. We had a bad 9-on-7 drill, and Sherm double horn, and and he called everybody up because you get double horn. That's when you go up. And he restarted the practice, and he put us in the Hudson Center. And I remember I had my outdoor cleats, which are the 7 studs, which have the nodules in them. So we're now practicing in there, and everybody's pretty pissed off. And it was so hot, and you wear those, you wear the socks, and it literally every step that you would take, you would have thought that I was standing in 5 inches of rainwater. And everybody, and your gloves, like your tape gets so wet that you can't keep the tape together, and that's pulling off. Your knee braces won't stay up because you have all of this condensation, and you are just slogging through practice. But every step you take, it's like there is a rubber ducky. Squish, squish, and the water would hit, and you go through that full practice, and you think to yourself, what the heck am I doing? That happened that time. I just remember it because of the double horn and the reset of practice and all of the other stuff. But I just keep looking back at it and thinking, when I think of the mugginess and the heat that these guys are going to be going through today, and you think back to Corey Stringer and how he unfortunately passed away from heat stroke, and how the NFL put ice tubs out on the field to try to get your core temp down. Those things, heat and NFL football sucks for me.
So I do remember that. I am curious. I can't remember. That had to have been before Corey Stringer was in 2001 in training camp. I mean, that had to have happened before that, right?
I don't remember. I think, well, you document this stuff. You're supposed to remember all that.
Well, I got to archive my 22 years ago at training camp. But my point is that that I remember practices being so hot that Jerry Perrins, who was the security director at the time, handed out cold water to the media, which they don't give us anything at practice. Like, that's for the VIPs and the partners and the suite holders and whatever else. They're not usually – they knew how bad it was. Now, you brought up Corey Stringer, which was a tragic situation that occurred during your playing career in 2001. And I think there was an uptick after that of guys being more aware, and I saw guys use the cold tub, etc. I have not seen that get used very often anymore. Now, you're also not doing double days in pads, so maybe that's part of it.
They're doing like an hour, 15 minutes, and you're taking water breaks with music playing. And
Are players less are they less willing to do that though because you look soft? I mean, you can't change player mentalities all that much, especially when it was that many years ago.
No, I think player mentality's changed a bunch. I think guys are much more apt to say, "Nah, I'm cramping up, I'm heating up."
Okay.
I think that has changed. It's not there's obviously everybody is different, but the training staffs have been empowered a lot more, and the nutritional people and the analytical people have been empowered more. It used to be the head coach drove the bus on all of it. To a certain extent, that's still the case, but when it comes to player safety, coaches don't want to have anything on their resume. Stuff like the Corey Stringer and things like that happening, because the medical people are always, I think they've always wanted. I can remember talking to an unnamed doc up at Green Bay, and he would say this idea of double days and everything else, it's outdated and it will move on. Now, unfortunately for me, that was after my career ended. But people realized during the time that we were going through, doing 3-a-days was stupid. Junction Boys. Watch the Junction Boys on Netflix and pay $10 to watch it. It will tell you that Bear Bryant didn't give water to his guys. So we would always, if we would do a drill and somebody wanted a water, and if Joe Philbin or Campy or Beck would say no, we'd call him Bear Bryant. All right, Junction Boys. So there is more now. It's actually looked upon you're being an idiot for not staying hydrated, for not monitoring your pee and everything else, because it's available and people want to analyze it to help you perform at the highest level. It's no longer, you're going to be tough, you can take salt blocks and all this other stuff. No, they finally have figured out, hey, when you're dehydrated, you don't think straight. When you're dehydrated, you can't perform at the level. You better make sure you keep up on it, and there's been more pro-action. And to our coaches' credit, to Sherm and Mike McCarthy, when we'd go down to Tampa or we'd go to Miami, that was always pushed. Water was dumped at us. Gatorade was dumped at us. It was always there to remind you of it. But the mentality has changed tenfold from, I mean, you listen to Jerry Kramer and the Lombardi guys, the Junction Boys. Even when I played, it's different and it's smarter than what it was.
So I was talking to Patrick Taylor yesterday because I think that hydration and different products obviously have come along where you're not drinking. I remember you guys played in Arizona and Mike Sherman and Mike Holmgren before him. Pickle juice, right? Pickle juice. Ugh, I don't see that being delightful to drink. But
tell you what, those pickle popsicles down in Janesville at these Little League games, they couldn't keep them in stock.
And that is what Patrick Taylor said he had when he was a kid. But he also was pouring sea salt into a regular bottle of water yesterday. And we were, because we're...
Was it Himalayan sea salt?
No, it was not pink. It was white. And I think Himalayan is pink. But he was saying that I'm like, does that taste good? And he said there's a very fine line between putting too much in and putting not enough in. But then we got to talking about all the other things they have for hydration, right? The Pedialyte or electrolyte stuff, and Gatorade has like 6 different products that they have at their beck and call. It is a lot, even in the 20 years since, or the 23 years since you were a rookie. there's just more options. There's been that much increase of an understanding of the technology behind these beverages that help them. Nevertheless, Matt LaFleur still has moved up practice by an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this was supposed to be at noon, so clearly they have enough concern thinking they have to do something different.
Yeah, I think at this point, everybody realizes that there's more. I mean, you want to have guys practice in the heat because you could play in the heat, just like you have wet ball drill, and you want to prepare your guys for every different type of circumstance. But there comes a point where the juice isn't worth the squeeze, and there's no doubt in my mind. I can remember us practicing and coaches saying, "This is good." If it was too chilly out, back at Holy Name Seminary, we'd say, "Oh, this isn't going to help us. We're going to have to run extra," because those days are over. Mm-hmm. And I think you want to push your guys, but you don't want guys getting to the point where they're full body cramps. And I can remember Ahmad Carroll, where I think it was Cliffy. He was blessing Cliffy as we were playing backgammon because Cliffy had a full body cramp from a late night practice, and it was hot and muggy, probably a shoe slosher type of practice. And Ahmad Carroll came down and blessed Cliffy as he was in a full body cramp on the laying off the backgammon table after he fell off the stool. And I was double gammoning him at the time, so I don't know if that was part of it. But those are things that just you don't need to see those things at this point. You want to correct and not have that happen. So if you can move a practice up to limit some of the exposure, I think it's a very smart move.
Wait, so he was like administering last rites to Cliffy?
I don't know if it was last rites, but it was like I don't know if he brought out different oils and stuff. But legit, I'm gammoning the heck out.
Ahmad Carroll?
Yeah, it was a weird deal. It was his rookie season, so I didn't know Ahmad that well. But he was kind of watching as I'm beating the heck out of Cliffy. I'm making the 5-3 move. I'm double gammoning him. I'm setting up. Hey, Cliffy, it's late at night because it was like a 7 o'clock practice we got done. And I was cramping up, drinking a little bit of Gatorade. Cliffy was doing it, but then Cliffy all of a sudden just went into full spasm, like lockdown mode. And he almost like fell, those, I don't know what kind of stool. I'm sure the stools are now like made of gold. But we had those old green, soft bottom, like you had to be down a little bit for bigger guys. Mm-hmm. And he like rolled and fell off the chair in a cramp. And then Ahmad Carroll comes over and he starts like praying and blesses him. And I'm thinking to myself, what the heck is going on? I went and got Flea and Nate, and they came in, brought IVs, and Cliffy was fine. But Ahmad Carroll blessed Big Clip.
And you won that round of backgammon while he was out.
No, he never paid me anyways. God, I could have retired years ago if Cliffy paid all of his debts that I beat him in backgammon on.
All right, so we've discussed a lot of beverages here that help you stay hydrated. I know one that you'd love to be having after a hot practice with sloshy shoes. That, of course, would be Coors Light.
Of course it would. And Coors Light is brewed with a 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and it's cold packaged, so it is made to chill. And when you're talking about 100-degree heat and you want to get hydrated afterwards, you want to make sure those mountains are baby blue today, because you're going to want it cold activated, and that's what Coors Light does, and it's chilled to perfection. That's why it is always Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
We will get to that Randall Cobb portion of Hard Knocks. Plus, I want to hear from Dan Graziano, who is not all in on Jordan Love like many of his ESPN compatriots. That's all still ahead. Stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Olson Toon has been customizing both residential and commercial outdoor living spaces since 1997. Matt Hamilton here from ESPN Madison. For over 50 years of combined experience in their management and design teams, Olson Toon has become one of Wisconsin's premier building and landscaping outdoor living firms. Landscaping and maintenance, irrigation, concrete work, pools, and more. If you have an outdoor living need, Olson Toon is here to help. Go to olsontoon.com to get started on your home project today. That's olsontoon.com.
Set summer in motion with the most electrifying Honda vehicles yet. Like the CR-V and Accord, with available hybrid powertrains designed to deliver more thrilling performance and more innovative tech. Summer's here. Make every adventure more electrifying with Honda, the most awarded brand in car and driver 10 Best history.
See your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer today. Honda gets Wisconsin.
See dealer for financing details.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Associated Bank. Packers fans, can you feel the excitement in the air? Preseason football is upon us. And if you want to rep the green and gold, they've got you. With Packers checking from Associated Bank, you can make every transaction a touchdown with an exclusive Packers debit MasterCard. Plus, every Packers checking cardholder scores 10% off at the Packers Pro Shop, both in-store and online, all year long. Learn more at AssociatedBank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
Take it to the house this season and enjoy tailgating from your own backyard. Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. You can win game day gear for your next gathering by entering to win at Tito'sTailgate.com. Be sure to enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill, a Brewmate Back Tap for batch cocktails, or a Tito's football jersey. For official rules, visit Tito'sTailgate.com. Must be 21 years old to enter. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Hi, I'm attorney David Gruber. After an accident, you need a trusted winning team on your side. For more than 30 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped Wisconsin families get the results they deserve. If you've been injured, call our firm today for a free consultation. We're available 24/7. Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
I live for the applause, applause, applause. I live for the applause, applause. Live for the applause, applause. Live for the way that you cheer and scream for me. The applause, applause, applause. Give me the feeling of
Matt LaFleur is at the podium. We will see what he has to say about today's 100-degree practice, but he has begun. He's wearing short sleeves, which he usually is like in long sleeves and also pants.
Yeah, you know what I learned? The skin is obviously it's the biggest organ, but I used at the end of my career, because of the sun and everything else, the long sleeve, real skinny, dry fit is actually cooler than wearing just the short sleeve. For me, it was.
Really?
Yeah. You don't have the sun baking
the
your
wicking,
skin.
moisture wicking.
Yeah, it was. I just remember I wore that a bunch during training camp, and I always felt like it was still, you're still drenched, but it just felt better, which it doesn't seem like it would make sense, and I'm sure there's scientific health people that would say you're crazy, but for me, that worked.
Matt LaFleur says they will practice for 2 hours today.
Let's go.
Talking about competitive greatness.
Yes.
So push through the uncomfortability.
Coaches eat this up, man, because you want to put your guys in adverse situations.
Uncomfortable,
Yes. And it's real easy when it's 62 degrees and it had a nice breeze. It's a beautiful sun-splashed afternoon. Those are easy days. 15 below. It's why the Green Bay Packers have an advantage, because you practice and you do stuff in that. It's tough when you're in this kind of heat, and you have to test your resolve a little bit. And coaches, for as much as they want your players to be healthy and everything else, they love to see how you handle adversity. Because I don't care how good of a team you are, you're going to have some. And how do guys respond when they don't feel good or they're dragging a little bit because it's hot? That's what you want to see.
I'm curious, though, how do players react to this? Like, it's their job, especially for guys that are fighting for roster spots. They don't have the luxury to say, ugh, I don't want to be out there for 2 hours. But is that something that is there a collective either silent groan or just an irritation when the head coach gets in front of the room and says, yeah, it's going to be hot. I told you guys to hydrate. We're going 2 full hours here for practice,
so
whether you like it or not.
I can only speak for myself. And what always happened to me, I have masochistic tendencies in certain regards.
We've learned that, yes, indeed.
I would always, when I would walk out in full gear and my cleats are click-clacking on the concrete to either bike down, walk down, bus down, whatever it might be, the wave of heat hits you and you're like, ugh. And then once you go, you're good. You don't sit there. You don't hear a bunch of people complain. What you think is, ice towel me. And there's something. I always loved it. When you'd be drenched, you'd get done with a 7-play drive, or you'd do a 9-on-7. You get your 4 plays, you'd come out, and then you'd have Flea or Nate or some of the guys get that big towel, dunk it in that ice bucket, and then have the just cold ice dribble from your head down all the way down to your toes, and it rekindled you. You just feel alive. So no,
just feel
anybody alive. that lets that cower and not take on that challenge, you don't want. I want guys that are, you can complain. There's some guys, the old guys will complain a little bit, but then you know what? They're out there grinding, competing, and trying to win.
Right.
But there is something, there's things that you'd think, I don't necessarily want. You know that when that whole ice bucket challenge deal was going on, everybody thought it was so kitschy. I love it.
It was awesome.
No, it was awesome, great cause, but you got to feel like an NFL player on a 90-degree, heated, hot day outside of Lambeau Field, and you get the boys to dump a big, wet ice towel down your face. That's a good feeling.
All right, so since you brought this up, while you were gone, we learned that Brian Bulaga, who was one of our many great cousin subs of the day, cousin subs we believe in better, but we're really lucky. And we give you a hard time, but you earn your time off. There's no doubt about it, especially this fall when you're going to have a Wilde-like schedule with how much you'll be working.
Yeah.
But we learned that Brian, now in retirement, still has a cold tub.
Okay.
Now, we did not, the Wildes, I know you like to make fun of us for our wealth of our big pool that we have in the backyard, even though it's an above-ground pool. We did not put it up this year. But one of the things the girls make fun of me incessantly for when we do have it up is when I get in and it's cold and I do the, ooh, that's cold. Which I don't think you're surprised that that's the kind of noise that I would make when I got in a cold pool.
Clark Griswold when he was with Old Girl in that
Indeed. Pool. Yes, exactly. How do you guys get into a tub full of ice water? He said his ice water was at like 38 degrees. He wants to get it down to like 33 when he's getting it. And this guy's retired.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's not even playing in the league
anymore.
The
retired part of this, and I don't know what he's doing. Like he's got some masochistic tendencies too. It's refreshing, and if you can stomach it, I love sauning. Sauning has got a ton of positive health reverberations.
Oh, clear those pores. Yeah.
Well, it's for all of the other stuff too. So there's obviously science behind why people like doing it. I don't know why Brian's still doing it. It's obviously, he's trying to stay healthy, and he's out still competing in triathlons or whatever it is.
Golf.
let me tell you something. I golf, and you don't need a cold tub. But I get it, and he works out and does all that stuff. So during training camp, the cold tub, I use the cold tub a bunch, and what you'd start doing is you'd put your phone down, you'd watch something, and you did the Wilde or anybody else. Some people would put the little baby slippers on their toes because the toesies get really cold. The toes in some other spots get freezing when you do that. I don't know if
shrinkage.
So you jump in there and you just take it. That's what you do.
You weren't comfortable with the shrinkage shouting. All right. Matt LaFleur is not only challenging his players with the heat, he's challenging his offense. We'll talk a little bit about what he just said down in the media auditorium coming up. And I would challenge you to find a better bank than Associated Bank. If you're a Packers fan, there's no better place to be because not only do you get the great perks that come with being a Packers checking account holder, 10% off the Packers Pro Shop in-store and online, your Packers debit MasterCard, other great perks. We do some events. It's awesome. But you also get the best customer service in the industry. They've got the awards to prove it. So make the switch today. Check out AssociatedBank.com to find out more. Matt LaFleur, not pleased with his offense yesterday. We'll tell you what he said and talk about it next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
LabCorp Clinical Trials is changing to a new name, Fortrea. While the name may be different, Fortrea combines decades of great experience and professionalism with new opportunities for clinical trial participation. It's more than a mission and more than a new name. Fortrea is dedicated to moving healthcare forward. To learn more about the future of healthcare and upcoming clinical trials, visit us at FortreaClinicalTrials.com. That's FORTREA clinicaltrials.com.
I'm coming.
Hi, Mark Tauscher. Tausch, you have mosquitoes in here.
It's like an insect zoo right now at my house. Here comes that wasp again. Incoming.
Shoo, you need Pella's 250 series of windows with exclusive hidden screens, protecting you from nature.
Yes, please. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin to the rescue.
Get a 250 series patio door and 8 double-hung windows with hidden screens as low as $188 per month. PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offer ends 8/31/23.
Is that a metal detector?
Yep, we're house hunting again and need to find a fortune. Figured I'd start with my backyard.
Well, UW Credit Union found us a great home loan rate with low closing costs. So we saved big.
Huh.
And they're also in your own backyard.
Is that so?
No, not literally. Get local mortgage expertise at UW Credit Union and see what you could save. Equal housing lender. Visit uwcu.org for details.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Hey, it's Alex Strofe. The high school football season is back, and we've got another doubleheader for you this week. Thursday night, Wisconsin Rapids visits Stoughton, and Friday night, the reigning state champion Monroe Cheesemakers visit Mount Horeb Barneveld. Coverage starts both nights at 6:30 on 100.5 ESPN and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania is also brought to you by Canopy Wealth Management, UW Credit Union, Stoughton Trailers, the GRB Academy, and Stoughton Health.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Hi, I'm attorney David Gruber. After an accident, you need a trusted winning team on your side. For more than 30 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped Wisconsin families get the results they deserve. If you've been injured, call our firm today for a free consultation. We're available 24/7. Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Dash the Dane. That's right, Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company has expanded their delivery offerings with DoorDash. New customers get $5 off your first order of $25 or more. And don't forget, Dash Pass subscribers always receive free delivery. Order delivery today at GreatDanePub.com or on the DoorDash app and get food delivered from the Great Dane closest to you. Downtown, Hilldale, Fitchburg, or East Madison. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's home for craft beer and pub food since 1994.
Join the Wisconsin Badgers when Camp Randall Stadium comes alive again this fall. Now is your chance to be there when Coach Fickle and the team takes the field on September 2nd. Don't wait. Lock in your spot for game day today. For more information and to purchase your Wisconsin football tickets, visit uwbadgers.com or call 1-800-GO-BADGERS. That's uwbadgers.com or call 1-800-GO-BADGERS.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
When I'm gone, I'm never really gone. You think you're moving on, but it won't be for long. You'll see when I'm gone, I'm never really gone. You think you're moving on.
Getting a ton of responses on the Wilde and Tausch Twitter feed. It's still Twitter, right?
Oh, it's Twitter X, I think they call it.
Like
X.
I type in twitter.com right now because your guy Elon took away TweetDeck now.
Oh, poor guy.
I'm gonna write him a note.
Oh, I'm sure that'll go over well.
No, I'm serious.
No, I know you are.
You better read it on the air because this sounds like pure comedy.
I understand he's an entrepreneur and he wants to make money, and I'm willing to pay for the various services that he is going to charge for, under the condition that if you're going to give out check marks and anybody who pays you can have one, that actual reporters and government entities should have their own check mark color. He's done different colors now. So I don't care if it's green or purple or whatever else, but as I told you guys, we were stuck in the Mall of America right after he did this with the check marks because there was an active shooter when we were there. And you couldn't figure out what was the legit Bloomington Police Department because there were like 3 different accounts. And I was trying to find if they were updating what was happening inside the Mall of America. So I do think that is an area where maybe he could improve.
Yes,
and if he would give out the check mark, I will be happy to pay my $8.
And you're also popular enough and put out a good enough content. You can actually start making money from Twitter, which people, I think it sounds absurd, but I think you can start making money.
So do I have to put a tip jar out, or how does that work?
No, it's you need to drive enough engagement. I think if you get
sounds like a lot
if
of
you
work.
get like 3 million views in a month, they pay you. I don't know exactly how it is, but you should do that. I think it'd be good for you.
Well, I'll put that on my to-do list. Matt LaFleur has given out a to-do list for his offense today, and it is don't stink like you did yesterday. So I did not think they had a good day yesterday. There's no debate. But I was a little surprised that he was as harsh as he critiqued them. He said there were...
So the interesting part of that, Jason, is you were just saying on Monday about the train, the hype train.
That's where I'm going.
All right,
You're
continue
reading my
on.
mind. No. Is this a calculated maneuver by the head coach? Quote, it's hard to put a winning performance out there with that kind of practice. There were way too many busted assignments from the receivers when they installed new concepts. Jordan Love has gotten flustered when those busts have occurred.
Ooh, was he chippy
Which that's
with
the first time I've heard the word flustered.
Was he chippy with his wideouts like a certain older quarterback was?
Oh, no, he's not chippy with his wideouts anymore. We'll get to that during the 11 o'clock hour. So, is this calculated? You've had coaches who, like my old mentor and good friend Tom Mulhern, R.I.P., who is one of Sydney's godfathers, used to be able to, he had an uncanny knack in the early part of my career and certainly before I even got on the beat. He could predict the eruption of Mount Holmgren within a day. Like, he knew it was coming. And whether they deserved it or not, Mike Holmgren was going to give it to him. And is this the 2023 version of a much tinier, like, baby volcano eruption that this is calculated from the head coach?
I don't think it's calculated. I don't know if that's how LaFleur operates, but
Okay.
you could always tell when guys were getting a little big for their britches, or you could see that the offense was having a big day and maybe we're getting a little fat and happy. The last thing coaches ever want, they like edge, complacency kills, or feeling like you've arrived and made it. And I don't think anybody over there did, but coaches have to be nimble. They have to mix things up, and they have to understand what their team needs at that time. So sometimes you got to pat a guy on the butt and say, their confidence is shot, or they're beaten into submission by the media and everything else, and they'll make a point to build you back up. But coaches can't stand complacency, and they can't stand when maybe somebody is feeling a little too comfortable. And I feel like that's what you just heard, what you were just talking about. It made me think immediately. Listen, all of the reportage and everybody is saying about how Jordan is this, and the Packers are back, and all this other stuff. It takes me back to the thought process that the Packers are really enjoying being an underdog, not being the big dog that everybody's shooting arrows at. So I think Matt LaFleur wants to keep that hunger, keep that youth, and this group, veteran player. I can remember Coach Alvarez would have speeches before games, and we would all, like Dav and I and some of the, when we were in year four, we've been around long enough, we could kind of predict.
Sure.
Protect this house. These guys disrespect your blank. You could always kind of get the sense of where the coach needed, where he felt the team needed to be. And when you're a veteran, you've been around long enough, and you know what the coach is doing. And that doesn't mean you're not bought in. You're so bought in that you're selling what the coach is selling.
Right.
That's how this whole thing works. Right. So obviously the players that have been around Matt LaFleur long enough see it, understand it, and the young players, it still gets them to sit up a little bit taller in their chair and to listen a little bit more, because everybody loves to get patted on the back. Not everybody loves to get yelled at and kind of challenged. And LaFleur obviously felt like yesterday that needs to happen today.
I didn't think it was good enough, Matt LaFleur said of the number one offense yesterday. That's from Bill Huber from Sports Illustrated. All right. I want to get down to practice. How much water or Gatorade should I take, you think? Do I take 2 bottles?
I think it'd be fun for you to get one of those beer drinking helmets, and you put 2 big 16, 20-ounce bottles of water, whatever it is, into those, or you can put the straw, and you can because then you can keep your hands free when you're doing your radio show and writing your notes.
Be better than the bucket hat.
Oh, by the way, I have been gone for a while. How did the Jack in the Box go when you were doing the Jordan Love interview?
Haven't had the chance to get set up in time yet.
3 weeks. It's been 3 weeks.
You don't understand.
No, I do understand.
No, you don't. People, I don't get to go in the locker room early to set up for the Jack in the Box.
After you discuss that with Fanning and the whole crew over there, they're not going to give you a little bone and say, all right, go in.
They don't want me going in early when guys are just getting off the practice field. They don't want me getting special treatment, but they do. They love the idea of me hiding in the hamper and popping out.
God, that'll be good.
But like every time I get to the locker room, there's already a large group of people surrounding that laundry hamper.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to beat the crowd to do it.
It's tough.
We need a day where they don't think Jordan's going to speak, and then he does. And I'm the only one who knows that he's going to talk. That's what we
Why
need.
don't you see if old boy can't give you a little heads up?
I will ask Jordan. Well, I can't ask Jordan because then he'll know.
No,
it's
you
coming.
can't ask Jordan.
I got to ask somebody else.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I will check into that. But I do need to get to practice. I would have appreciated the beer drinking batting helmet idea a little bit earlier than now, because now I don't have time to pick one up in time to get there for practice. So I'm going to head down to Ray Nitschke Field. Meanwhile, you and Strofe are going to play some Wilde and Tausch trivia.
Geography Wednesday.
Yeah, you're playing, pal.
Yeah, no, I'm always playing on Wednesday. I love it. I kind of want to just play trivia all the time.
So Strofe's going to ask all the questions. You're going to play along. I'm going to be gone, and it'll be just Strofe and our contestant.
This might be a train wreck, but it could be great. We'll find out.
You can read, right?
Sometimes.
Fair.
Wait a minute. Before we say that it's not going to be a train wreck, who wrote the questions?
Jesse.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Then we can't say for certain that reading is enough for this.
Sounds like it's going to be about
wreck.
Suits.
I have
the show on
fact-checked
Netflix.
them, which is a great show.
He can't stop texting about how great Suits is.
It is a great show.
He's working very hard from home, as you can tell. All right. Caller 10. Caller 10 for Jordan Love. Caller 10. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. Caller 10. Strofe will read the questions. Tausch will play along. I will make my way down to Ray Nitschke Field for Packers practice, the last open to fans practice of 2023. Trivia is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust. Well, as we count down the days to kickoff of the college and pro football seasons, you may be planning those last few weekend road trips before we get back into our fall routines. And if that's the case, remember to stop by and see the reliable service team at Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie before you hit the road. There is no better vehicle service team than the team I trust over at Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie. Get a tune-up? Check the battery, check your tires, change the oil so you can focus on the fun of getting from place to place for whatever your next adventure holds and not allowing vehicle trouble to disrupt you. Schedule a service appointment, view vehicle inventory, and learn more about all they have to offer at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. That's ZimbrickChevrolet.com. There's only so much time left in the summer. Don't let vehicle trouble take a second of it away from you. Trust the fantastic service team at Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Stoughton Trailers. Big trailers and big opportunity at Stoughton Trailers. Positions now open in production, operations, finance, sales, engineering, supply chain, and more. To apply today, go to stojobs.com. Former Wisconsin linebacker Nick Herbig is making his impact in his first year as a Pittsburgh Steeler. In this past weekend's preseason game against the Buffalo Bills, Herbig had 3 tackles, 1 sack, and 1 forced fumble. Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin, when he was asked about the 4th-round picks coming out party this preseason.
You know, we like doing business with Wisconsin, man. Just schematically, it's the same thing that made us comfortable when we drafted TJ and Loudermilk and Benton. And so I can't tell you that I'm overly shocked at what we're seeing from him.
Bundle a 250 series patio door and 8 double-hung windows with hidden screens for as low as $188 per month at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin at PellaWI.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because they never charge over the MSRP.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm Vice President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
play more golf this summer with a membership at the Prairie Athletic Club. The Pack proudly put together the new ownership and management team at the golf course in Sun Prairie, renamed the Prairie Pines Golf Club. This is just another amenity the Pack has to offer both indoors and outdoors to members in the community all summer long. Call, stop by, or visit prairieathletics.com for membership and tee time details today. Prairie Athletic Club, family, fun, and community.
Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. Win game day gear by entering to win at titostailgate.com. Enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove grill or a Brewmate. For official rules, visit titostailgate.com. Must be 21 plus to enter.
Wilde and Tausch rolling on your Wednesday. Jason on his way to practice. I'm Alex Strofe with the Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher in the Everlight Solar Studio downtown Madison. And Tausch, it's Wednesday.
Love Wednesday trivia.
I know you love Wednesday trivia, which means you get to play along as we play Wisconsin Geography Wednesday trivia. Today's contestant, Sean in Waukesha. Sean, how are you today, my friend?
Good. Hot. It's hot.
It's warm out.
Yeah, I always wondered, I don't want to be old, dude. Sean, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
57.
57. Do you remember when you were a kid, did anyone ever say, oh, it's hot out? You'd get some Freezy Pops from the freezer. You'd grab the garden hose. You'd dump it on yourself. You'd drink out of the garden hose. Nobody's, giving all this stuff. Am I crazy?
It's true, Mark. Very true. Very true.
I'm getting to be old.
I feel like that's the way it was when I was a kid.
I am in the construction world, so today is not a very good day for them guys.
Might be a double water jug day. When I used to pour concrete, I'd get double water jug days like today.
Definitely.
Well, good. All right, Wisconsin Geography Wednesday. You feeling confident, Sean? How are you in this topic? You going to be okay today?
I think I've played it once before and got 2 out of 3, so we'll see what happens.
Sean, where do you think up north starts? Because our friends over with the Wisconsin Clothing Company was dumping some stuff out yesterday, and it's easy to me that Highway 29 north of Wausau is the line of demarcation for me. I don't know if that's
I'd have to agree with that.
Okay. I like. Let's get Sean 3
I'd
entries
have to
and get
agree
him.
with that.
Let's get Sean 3 entries so he can get a little ice cream sundae or something to keep cool here.
If it was up to me, I'd agree, but it's not up to me. It's
Okay.
up to the hall monitor.
That's
so
true.
bring it up with him. All right, let's get into it. Question at number 1, Sean in Waukesha. Which of these Wisconsin cities is named after the 4th president of the United States? Is it Madison? Is it Monroe? Or is it my neck of the woods, Mishicot? Madison, Monroe, or Mishicot?
Okay. We'll go with Monroe.
I was going to say,
Tough
that
start.
was not a gimme.
Madison.
Yeah.
That was a fail.
Monroe was 6, right? Was he the 6th president?
Looking at the
I don't
wrong
know
guy.
why.
Yeah, I'm not
I don't
good
even
at
know why I would ask that
presidential
question.
trivia.
Madison was 4. Okay.
Madison was 4, indeed.
Washington, Adams, Jefferson, and then Madison.
Let's brush it off, Sean. On to question number 2. Which of these is not the name of one of the high schools located in Kenosha, Wisconsin? Is it Kenosha Tremper? Is it Kenosha Parker? Or is it Kenosha Bradford? Looking for the one that doesn't exist. Tremper, Parker, or Bradford in Kenosha?
The second one.
Yeah, I would agree.
Kenosha Parker is correct. That would be
Janesville
Janesville Parker.
Parker,
Right,
yes.
you got it. A little trickery. Trickeration. All right, question 3. Let's finish strong here, Sean, in Waukesha. Here we go. Question 3. Latitudinally, which of these Wisconsin high schools...
I love these questions.
I'm going to start over. I hate those words. All right, starting over. Question 3. Latitudinally, which of these Wisconsin high schools is located furthest north? Furthest north. Is it Kimberly? Is it D.C. Everest? Or is it Lakeside Lutheran?
I feel pretty good about this one.
I'm gonna have to go with the first one.
First one is Kimberly.
I think it's
Tausch,
DC.
what
I think
say
it's
you?
DC Everest.
Sean, I'm going to give you the opportunity.
No, it's not how it works.
It is DC Everest. Tausch had it
Is
correct.
it DC Everest?
Yeah.
Up in Wausau.
Good call. Good call, Tausch.
Yeah, just a little bit below Highway 29, I believe.
You're correct on that. Yeah, good. Well done. You know your Wisconsin geography, Tausche. Sean, as for you, not so much. You get 2 entries into Friday's drawing. You went 1 for 3. We appreciate you listening and playing, as always. Thanks, Sean.
All right. Love you guys.
Good effort. That first question was tough.
Was it?
No, it was. If you're not, you didn't know.
I mean, I don't know the order of presidents.
Well, then you wouldn't know it.
But I would have gone with Madison. I felt like that one was easy.
It wasn't that easy. Madison and Monroe. Monroe's right in that same ballpark as far as when he was a president.
Is the city of Monroe named after said president?
I would think so.
I would also think so, but do we know that for a fact?
I don't.
Okay.
I haven't studied that. I don't know the city of Monroe like I probably should. I know there's great cheese down there.
There is. The
Limburger.
cheesemakers, yes.
Yeah, the Limburger. Big Limburger town.
Is that the best cheese?
No, Pepper Jack is probably the best. I've become a big fan of feta. Feta is a great cheese that's underrated. Put in a lot of dishes. You can make a lot of great dishes with a little feta.
I don't know that I've done feta before. So Jason on his way to practice, Tausch, and I don't know if you talked about this earlier in the week at all, but Zach Tom at right tackle, I'm fired up about him.
Yeah, you should be. You can always tell where the organization's at when you can see kind of how they prioritize reps. And Zach Tom is somebody that they've trusted early on. He played last year. They're moving him and playing center, and he continues to kind of answer the bell wherever they put him. That's what coaches and personnel people love. And now that he's settled in, and again, limited sample size, I'll be shocked if he's not going to be the guy. Josh Myers, they've pushed. I think they're hoping that he'll jump up and take that center job by the horns. But Zach Tom is going to be your starting right tackle.
Yeah, he looks really comfortable there. But on Josh Myers, Tausch, another bad snap at practice yesterday. How concerning should that be to Packers fans? Because he had the one on Saturday and another one yesterday.
I think it should be concerning because, again, that stuff happens usually first couple days of training camp. If it's happening on a consistent basis, that means there's something flawed with how they're going about doing it. And one of those plays turns football games. You can't win when you're going to turn the ball over on a quarterback center exchange. It's going to happen occasionally. If you get one a year, you kind of okay. But the frequency of what you're seeing, and that's probably a big part of why the Packers are frustrated and looking at trying to find somebody else to jump in there. But I think he has played football at that spot. They want to keep him in there. They want him to feel pushed. I think he's felt pushed, but I think he's going to settle in and end up being your starting center when you go down to Chicago.
I just don't know what the other options are, right? Because you mentioned
Zach
Tom. Tom was playing over there, but then what do you do at right tackle?
Listen, if you really don't trust and don't believe he can do it, you would have somebody else in there.
Yeah.
They gave reps. They tried to kind of figure out, but I think Zach Tom has played really well out at offensive tackle. They feel good about that. I think they're also thinking about how are they going to move forward if David Bakhtiari can't play every game. How do they want to align their guys? And you don't want to be moving people around. Josh Myers can't play tackle. So I think all of it is still going to be fluid with the exception of that left side of the offensive line when they're healthy. I think there's going to be a lot of fluidity. And I started seeing more of this when guys, you moved one of the preseason games and got rid of it. You're seeing this, and New England has done this for a while now. Belichick still uses the regular season as audition tape because now there isn't, while you're playing against third-string guys. You now see how these guys react versus these different blitzes with the ones out there playing. And if guys step up and elevate their game, because you gave a job in September 10th, that doesn't mean September 29th. Oh, nope, we already gave that up. Nope, it is constantly fluid. There's more fluidity now with the way the less practices and less preseason games than there was in the past.
That's fair. I guess what would make me feel better, to your point, is as long as the pressure stays on a guy like Josh Myers, who in his third year should take that big step at center, as long as this pressure
Listen, if
stays
Josh
on.
Myers is fumbling snaps and he's not playing good football, they've done this in the past where Jeff Saturday was benched at the end of a season for Evan Dietrich Smith. All of these jobs It's always fluid. Quarterbacks, it's fluid. If you're not performing, you build depth and you give other opportunities. And especially in a year when Brian Gutekunst has said it's not about winning as much as it is about freeing up opportunities, veteran players should be on high alert too. As far as if they're not performing, you might see a quicker pull or quicker hook than what you've seen in the past.
He's the Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher. I'm Alex Strofe. Jason Wilde will rejoin the program next, live from the sidelines of the final open to the public training camp practice up in Green Bay. Jason will join us next as we run through his observations from the final open to the public practice up in Green Bay. Stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch back in 2 minutes.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. Well, it's always a good time to get that special someone in your life a beautiful gift. And when I'm in need of a new piece of jewelry, Chalmers Jewelers is my go-to place. Whether I want a timeless classic or a one-of-a-kind piece, Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison has just what I'm looking for. My life has been made so much easier thanks to the great team over at Chalmers Jewelers, and is the reason I keep going back for more. Visit chalmersjewelers.com to find your perfect new piece of jewelry today.
This is gold medalist Matt Hamilton, and you're listening to A Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Yeah, it is. And I'm Alex Strofe, your Sports Center update brought to you by ESPN Madison and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. Subscribe to watch Wilde and Tausch, Scalzo and Brust, and all of your favorite daily ESPN Wisconsin shows, plus interviews and bonus content. Subscribe to ESPN Madison and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. Just moments away from starting off the final public training camp practice for the Packers up in Green Bay as they get ready for Saturday's preseason finale against the Seattle Seahawks at Lambeau Field. Matt LaFleur speaking with the media just moments ago, but this clip from yesterday when he talks about, A, the importance of that final preseason game, but B, that there are still a lot of positions up for grabs. Here's the head coach.
It's training camp, and we still have another game to get prepared for, and I still think there's a lot of battles and positions to be fought for, so we're attacking it the same way we have up to this point.
Jason Wilde hosts the final hour of Wilde and Tausch from the final public preseason practice. Coming up next on Wilde and Tausch. Baseball, Twins, Brewers, a matinee game today at AmFam Field, a 1:10 first pitch. Hour 3, Wilde and Tausch right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch, live from Packers' final open to the public training camp practice of 2023.
Did you find some shade?
Well, so here's the thing. Came down here, 11 o'clock, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. It is hot. My Gatorade Fit, which is the only thing fit about me, is already sweating on the sides of the bottle. It ain't no joke out here, that's for sure. But I'm not sure it's like as oppressive as advertised. But I'm also not on the rubbery surface of the outer track of the practice field. So I will have an update on that about 11:20. Because that's when they're coming out.
They're on a grass field today too, right?
They are.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Oh.
I'm on a rubbery track area, which it's a lot hotter there.
It's definitely hotter, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Right. Well,
I appreciate your concern.
stay hydrated.
But the mistake I made is that they're going to be they're not going to come out onto Ray Nitschke Field until 11:20. So I could have pushed back my journey down here, but I'm here, so I'm ready for it, and so are lots of Packers fans, as it is the last open practice.
So Jason, I just heard Strophe do his Sports Center.
Okay,
and LaFleur talking about there's these battles going on. I'm assuming safety's one of them. What other battles are we talking about as this last preseason game comes up? What are the battle lines as far as what we're looking at, who's going to be starting come September 11th, 12th, whatever day it is, down in Chicago?
Yeah, there's only one. And
that's not what he just said.
Well, there's a battle for the number 3
No, he said there's
running
battles
back
going
job.
on. Battles.
Sure, there's a battle for the number 3 running back job. There's a battle for, I guess, punter.
Okay.
If you think that the Irish lad Daniel Whalen is
You still
making
thinking?
a charge
You
there.
still thinking old boy's going to get?
No, I mean, I think Daniel Whalen's been inconsistent. So if they were to go to him,
Well,
they
Anders
would
Carlson's been
Yeah, so is
inconsistent.
their kicker.
He's kicking.
right, and that's the difference.
You
is
got to
that
give
they invested a
opportunities
draft
to
pick in him,
grow. You got to
which they
grow.
did not do for right. No question, that's been their mantra. They did not invest a draft pick in Daniel Whalen. They did in Anders Carlson, so he's going to get all kinds of rope. I don't know if Daniel Whalen gets that or not. I also don't know if you already have a kicker who missed some kicks again yesterday. If you want to be then giving him an inexperienced holder on top of it, which is what Daniel Whalen would be. So it's I would say that's a battle. But beyond that, like, I don't know, 5th wide receiver, right? Of Malik Heath and Dontavion Wicks and
Wicks ain't getting cut.
But right, he's not. So I don't think there's that many battles. Whatever Matt LaFleur said, the reality is that safety is the one battle where I don't think it's very clear at all. My guy Rudy Ford, who you like to tease me about, started camp with the 1s, then was demoted to the 2s. Then he was with the 3s at one point as Tavarius Moore and Jonathan Owens were ahead of him. And now, yesterday, he was back with the starters. So I don't think that they have any clarity whatsoever on that spot. And that, again, I'm not saying that Adrian Amos is the equivalent of David Bakhtiari, but for a very low price for a veteran player, why wouldn't it have been better to just bring him back on like the 1-year deal he got from the
Growth.
Jets?
Got to have opportunity for growth.
That's what I've heard. But if you have 4 guys that are competing for a starting
and you
job,
don't have,
do you have any of them?
And it's
really?
not like with Mason Crosby, you went and got Anders Carlson. So you just, okay, boom.
Right.
So, and with not bringing back Mercedes Lewis, you drafted 2 guys that you want
Right.
to. So you can understand the thought process. But here, nothing against Owens or Rudy Ford, but these are guys everybody could have had. This isn't like some young draft pick. I know they got my guy,
Right.
Anthony Johnson Jr. from Iowa State. You have, but was he a 7th-round pick?
Correct.
So they're not going to.
You can get good players down there.
You can, but you're not like, oh, here you go, let's let you roll. There's none of that, and especially this late in camp, you don't have that. So I think it was just more, thank you for your service, Adrian. It's time to move on. I understand that. You didn't think he was good enough last year, and you don't think he's going to get better with another year of age. And your focus is on growth and getting young players that you can really build into the future with. That's obviously what the Green Bay Packers have done. But it's surprising with a team this young if there's only one spot that's still up for debate. Like, that's interesting to me.
Yeah, they're committed to a lot of guys on this offense. I suppose the other one, Tausch, that I feel like is more or less decided, even though they haven't announced it, is it seems pretty clear to me they've decided on their offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, you and I and Bill Huber and Rob Domofsky clearly like Yash Nyman more than anybody else does around here.
But Yash will make this team.
He will make this team,
Okay.
but he will, and I'm not sure that Rasheed Walker has moved into the swing tackle spot either. I still think that's probably Yash's job. But Rasheed Walker certainly has had some moments where he's at least pressing for that. But to me, they're going to start Bakhtiari, Jenkins, Myers, Runyon, and Tom. I don't know. There's no evidence anywhere that those aren't decided other than the fact that they haven't flat out said that it's been decided. So where are these battles other than safety?
That's
I don't
why
see
I asked.
them.
I was curious because you just kind of look around and you think, well, feels like everything. Now, who's going to be? Is Rashawn Gary going to be healthy enough to be a starter? Or is he going to be a situational guy until he gets his feet underneath him? I mean, there's going to be questions once those final cuts are made. All right, anybody that you think as someone that the Packer fans, not a first-year player, that you think is on the chopping block that might not be on this roster come next Sunday, Monday, whenever final cuts are announced?
So they cut another former draft pick yesterday in Jake Hansen. But Jake Hansen seems like he's always hurt, so I wasn't surprised by that at all. I don't see them moving on from any of their draft picks. Like, here's another guy that's interesting. Grant Dubose, who missed a lot of time and had some back problems at the start of camp, but he's had some moments, right? But again, he's a draft pick. Goody doesn't cut his draft picks. Very rarely does he move on from a draft pick right away. He even gave Jamon Moore an extra year, and it was pretty clear right away that Jamon Moore was not unlike Joey Jamison in 2000. But to me, there's not that many veteran guys that are left, and this is the difference, Tausch, from maybe when you were playing, is that there used to be a surprise cut or two or more every summer, right? And now you kind of decide on, for all intents and purposes, you decide on your team in the offseason. So there's not, you moved on from Adrian Amos and didn't bring him back. Like, if he'd have had 1 year left on his contract and they wanted to move on, they would have cut him. They would have cut him then. They wouldn't have taken him all the way through camp and then cut him at the end, which I think was more commonplace when you were playing.
Yeah, and there was more restructure. I mean, Adrian Amos got his contract restructured like 10 times too.
Right. Well, so I don't know. Like, of course, they wouldn't be surprises if we saw them coming, but like, I could see Pat O'Donnell. That wouldn't surprise me.
Is Jonathan Owens going to make this football team?
So if he's not your starter, and Rudy Ford is, one of the things that Rudy Ford, Justin McCoy, we had all of our cousin subs of the day while you were gone, Tausch. Now we've got an actual cousin subs executive at practice now that you're back.
Yeah, tell Justin he owes me a phone call, too. We've had
Justin Tausch says you owe him a phone call, but we're on the air, and I'm supposed to tell you that immediately. I do. I will call you, he says. So there you go. I'm just bringing people together here.
Tell him I want a pepperoni melt, too.
He's out of your shot now. Sorry. I'll put in your order at the next commercial break. But to your point about the veterans, I can see the possibility, even though when I said it to Pat O'Donnell on the first day of practice, I think he was mildly offended and I had to do some damage control there.
You mean that he was getting, hey, Pat, I think you're going to get cut.
Well, I didn't quite say it that way. I said, Pat O'Donnell, what the hell are you doing here? You're 30 years old. You shouldn't be here. They don't want 30-year-olds on this team. But beyond that, it's not like they're going to move on from Preston Smith and install Lucas Van Ness as a starter. Lucas Van Ness, for me anyway, has been a lot like Rashawn Gary was in 2019. Drafted on potential and unlikely to contribute significantly as a rookie.
Oh, I think he'll contribute more than you think.
Well, not early on, I don't think.
Okay, maybe not early on.
He may get snaps. Whether or not he actually contributes on them, it is. And look, I don't need to tell you how smart you are. We tell you that all the time. But that whole idea of, okay, I was a good bull rusher or power guy in college, and now I'm going up against professional tackles. You're 100% right about that. Right now, at this point, he has strength and nothing else. And so if you were blocking Lucas Van Ness, what would you do?
Yeah, anchor.
Right. I mean, so until he cultivates, and look, that's one of the things that Rashawn Gary has been great about. He has cultivated counter moves, and that's why he's been productive. So
elite.
Well, not quite yet, but some might say. So is there something that, as you go into this preseason finale, and I kind of want to set up a little bit of Jordan Love conversation here because I want to get to what Dan Graziano said about him because he's a dissenting voice in the ESPN universe at this point. But I saw your tweet about how you like the fact that Love is going to play. We can talk about that coming up. But is there anything else going into this game other than the uncertainty at safety where you're like, I'm going to watch this because this is what I need to see? Is there anything on your list that you view that way?
Well, I mean, if Rashawn Gary plays, which I would think he might.
Can't imagine.
I don't know. That's the part that's kind of interesting because I think Matt LaFleur has made himself pretty clear in the last couple of years he wanted to have these guys play more because the clunkers that they played in the openers. You have that weak buffer, and you're at this point you're so close to the finish line that you don't want a hammy getting yanked 30 yards from the finish line. If you're going to get guys hurt, you want it to be in the regular season. And Rashawn Gary coming back, I would bet if I was Rashawn Gary and I came back from an ACL and we played in Cleveland, you want to get out there. I don't want to have that uncertainty and oh boy, I hope my leg holds up. Yeah, I go through all this practice, I'm doing this, but it's just different. I can understand Rashawn saying, I just want to get a couple pass rushes just to get back out there. That would be the only thing that's super intriguing to me because, as you said, the drama of any of the other stuff, now there might be some surprise, but no, I want to see Jordan Love finish the offseason up or the preseason strong. And I see the Bears sitting Justin Fields last week, and I just wonder, that's for made men. Sitting stuff out, that's for, I watched some of The Godfather. That's for the made guys.
Which streaming service did you find that on?
It was on whatever airline I was on, under Epic Classics, because, as I said, the other stuff is all junk. Jordan Love isn't a made man, and I want to see him go out and compete. And I know we saw the fumbled snap and the potential Drew Brees-esque type shoulder injury. I just think, man, you see it with his teammates. You see him bowing up when somebody jacks somebody up, and you see the teammates rally. That stuff matters. It's important. And I was wondering after he had success in that last drive against New England if that was going to be the last we saw of him. And I was hoping, boy, I hope that's not the case. I could understand if they did, and if they decide not to play him. I know Matt LaFleur said he's going to. Things can change. I am excited to still see Jordan finish the preseason off with a nice drive, get a tutter, and have everybody coalescing and saying, man, we feel awesome heading into Chicago.
Well, we will talk more about what's realistic to do with Jordan Love and what to expect from how much playing time he'll have, how he'll perform, etc. coming up next. I would also say this. I really want to hear what Dan Graziano had to say, because not that I'm looking for the negative by any stretch of the imagination, but I do want to hear somebody who's not on the hype train other than apparently Matt LaFleur based on how yesterday's practice went. I know when it comes to AmFam Tausch, we are always driving the hype train. And speaking of hype trains, there's one rolling pretty quick as well in Madison with the Badger football team.
There is. Badger fans, American Family Insurance wants to give you and a friend a VIP experience at a Badger football or basketball game during the 2023 season. You and a friend receive pregame sideline or courtside passes, a tour of the facility, and tons of great merch to support your Badgers. Enter today at amfam.com/Badgers. No purchase is necessary. Dream fearlessly. Insure carefully.
We will have that conversation about what Dan Graziano had to say and how much Jordan Love should play next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Grassland Dairy is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin and sustained by innovation. Since 1904, the Wheatrick family has worked with hundreds of dairy farmers to consistently produce the highest quality dairy products. Grassland's commitment to quality starts with the way their dairy farmers care for their cows and carries through every step of their innovative processing and delivery. They are proud to offer a wide range of reliable and nutritious dairy ingredients. Grassland Dairy is family owned in Wisconsin and has been crafting butter for 5 generations.
Since 1956, Holman Lindsay Paints has been making paint in Wisconsin for Wisconsin. Because of their commitment to making great paint for Wisconsinites, Holman Lindsay has grown over the years to 26 locations in this great state. Headquarters in Sun Prairie with a state-of-the-art facility, Holman Lindsay has the paint you need to make your job better. From do-it-yourself to professional, Holman Lindsay has paint for everyone. Visit one of their local locations today in Madison, Sun Prairie, Middleton, and Janesville.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for my friends at Kohler Services. Treat yourself to a new shower this summer. Kohler Services is a local end-to-end bath and shower design and remodel service brought to you by Kohler, a family-owned in Wisconsin for 150 years. Kohler is the only manufacturer offering fast, professional installation and care for life. Start enjoying your bath or shower right now with a special offer. Visit kswisconsin.com to request your free quote and tell them that I sent you over. Again, that's kswisconsin.com.
We tend not to think about right now, but right now in front of us is victory over cancer. Right now, cancer research funded by the V Foundation is leading to better treatments and saving lives. When you give to the V Foundation, 100% of your donation goes directly to game-changing cancer research. Victory over cancer is there for the taking by you. Donate at v.org, because today's cancer research is tomorrow's victory.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Dennis Semra with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
And our ESPN Madison UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Abigail Sadler from Mount Horeb High School. Welcome, Abby.
Thanks.
You were actually born in California.
Yeah, lived there for 9 years. My dad's job moved him to Wisconsin. Lived there for 4 years. Then my dad's job moved him up to Toronto, Canada. So we lived up there for 3 years, and we moved back to Mount Horeb.
You're an outstanding runner, a state champion in track, cross country. You had a good career, but you had a little injury, right?
Yeah, I had tendonitis in my right Achilles, so I spent 2 months recovering. I'm fully back from it now.
And then there's a group called Power that you got involved in Canada.
That's right. It's a women's empowerment group. They do certain events to raise money for different causes. Brought that back here this past year, and it's been great.
Bringing summer gatherings to the next level is just another thing we do at Celebrations Entertainment. Hi, it's Jeffrey. With rental items like sound equipment, photo booths, and even yard games, you can make your event the party that everyone talks about. Any event like graduation parties, block parties, or even a backyard barbecue can be elevated with fun, interactive items to make everyone ask, hey, how'd you pull this off? Just tell them celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
ESPN Madison is on Wisconsin Sports. Catch up on anything you missed on the Varsity Podcast on Wisconsin On Demand. Brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of Wisconsin Badger Athletics. If you're looking to purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Honda, shop local, part of the Madison community since 1973.
The traditions.
There's no team I love more than this team. We got a national championship to chase.
The rivalries.
This is college football as good as it gets.
Only 3 days until week 0. College football lives here. ESPN Radio. Wilde and Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Time for me to fly. Oh, I've got to set myself free. Time for me to fly. That's just how it's got to be. I know it hurts to say goodbye.
Wilde and Tausch continues live from Packers training camp practice at Rainitzky Field. They are in full pads, Tausch. You're in the cozy, cool Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios.
Nice in here too.
But you remember these days for sure.
I do.
And full pads is not exactly the coolest outfit to be wearing under these conditions either. But they've got a 2-hour practice that is underway here at Rainishke Field. Before we get to our Jordan Love conversation that I wanted to have, I'm watching Tyler Goodson, who is working with one of the athletic trainers. He had the shoulder injury in the Cincinnati game. He's been out ever since. You know this as well as anyone. Availability is the most important ability. The number 3 running back job, he was really in a very good position when that injury occurred. What do you do when you're that guy?
Ugh.
And you've had a good camp, but now you've been sidelined for basically 2 weeks. Time is running out. You've seen everyone get excited about Emmanuel Wilson, who I still almost called Emmanuel Lewis, who of course played Webster in the 80s. There's so much out of your control. What do you do when you're in that situation like Tyler Goodson is?
I think all you can do is when you get back out there, you put your best foot out there, and there's sometimes, timing isn't in it just didn't work out for you there. But the great thing about this new practice squad eligibility is you're going to continue to work. I don't think there's any doubt if he doesn't make the 53, he'll be on a practice squad here or somewhere else. And running backs now, we're seeing it with the Jonathan Taylor situation play out. Opportunities continue to come up, and guys you continue to put yourself. It is tough mentally, especially when you're sitting out there and you're watching Taylor and some of these other guys playing good football, and you realize you don't want to be rooting against guys, but you realize that might mean my shot is gone, at least in this time, because nobody wants to wait. Patience in the NFL, patience will run out and you're gone. And then the next thing you know, you're 28 years old, you're Eddie Lacy, and you got a garage sale that you're selling all your stuff as you're moving on out. It's how the world works in the NFL. So all you can do if you're Goodson is, I'm going to work, I'm going to get back out there, I'm going to put good tape out, and then I am going to continue to make it really difficult for Brian Gutekunst or anyone else to not give me an opportunity. So if something happens to Aaron Jones or A.J. Dillon or whomever ends up being that third back, hey, I'm ready. All you can do is be ready when that opportunity comes.
The roster reduction is in less than a week. And the other difference from when you played, Tausch, and obviously you did not get cut as a young player. You earned a starting role fairly quickly. But it's from 90 to 53, and then you can add 16 back onto the practice squad. So we're really talking about going from 90 to 69-ish, because you may not have all 16 of your practice squad guys be your guys that were in camp. But that is next Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is right around the corner.
Yeah.
And so, Tyler Goodson working with a trainer right now is great and all, but that's not the same as being out there in full pads. He's out here in shorts. And another one of those long-sleeve, moisture-wicking shirts. Tausch, a man ahead of his time when it comes to those. All right, I want to get to what Dan said about Jordan Love. Dan Graziano is one of the NFL national reporters for ESPN. We've talked a lot about how everyone seems to be driving the hype train for him, except, of course, Matt LaFleur, who put the brakes on the hype train this morning, talking about how the number one offense performed in yesterday's practice. Let's hear what Dan had to say and see if he's got a dissenting opinion at this point.
I think it's still an overreaction. I think there's a ways to go here in Green Bay. He's exciting. He's talented. He looks great in the preseason games. And by all accounts, the people I've talked to on the teams that have practiced against them, they're impressed. But it's a young offense overall. It's a young offense around him. It's a young quarterback starting for the first time. I think there's going to be some ups and downs in Green Bay, even though ultimately I think he's on the way up.
Wow, Dan could fill in if I ever take another day off after my big 2 weeks off this offseason, right? Isn't he sounding just like me right there?
He sounds like someone that is talking to New England and Cincinnati. It's not like he's, some teams that have played against it. Well, there's only 2 teams that have done that at that point. But that continues to reiterate the point of he's been better than I think some people thought.
Yeah,
and
myself included.
You should be excited as a Packer fan, but a lot of youth, a lot different animal when you're talking preseason and regular season. That's common sense.
We've had this conversation before, I know, but maybe not this way. You were on the 08 team when Rodgers took over, and we've talked about how you had Driver and you had Jennings going into year 3 and James Jones going into year 2. And Donald Lee was certainly not Travis Kelce or Tony Gonzalez, but he was experienced, right? Do you think that you would have even more confidence, optimism, whatever you want to call it, if Jordan Love had more experienced guys around him? Or, I mean, when you watch these young guys, when you watch Jaden Reed, when you watch Romeo Dobbs, when you watch Christian Watson, you're looking at 3 guys that look really talented to me. And Samari Toure's had a good camp. We've talked about Malik Heath a lot. I guess my question is, would you rather have youthful, inexperienced talent that's going to make some errors that you hope dissipate by the second half of the season, or would you rather have veteran guys so he has a better chance right off the bat to be a little more productive and a little more comfortable?
Jason, you don't throw dice, right? You don't play craps?
I do not. No,
okay,
I don't.
So my question to
that.
the craps throwers out there would be, because it's...
Well, I throw a lot of crap.
Would you rather get the point set 6, 8, 5, 6, 8, 9, or would you have the point set 4 or 10?
I have no idea what that means.
So the dice, the reason Vegas likes craps is because 7 comes up the most often. And when you're talking about what you just were going through, would you rather have Devontae Adams? I'd rather have those points that are more likely to come up, because you know the statistical odds of it are it's going to hit 6 more than you're going to roll a 12 or an 11, because you have more combinations to do it.
Correct.
Your offense is going to have a better opportunity if you have a stud like Devontae Adams, or if you have some veterans that really know what they're doing and that can help Jordan Love along. That should be common sense. That's not where you're at. But when you hit a 6 or an 8, you get paid out, but you don't get paid out the same as if you hit a 4 or a 10. So you're going to have bigger upside with it, but there's going to be more times that you crap out and end up having to reset than you do if you have 6 and 8. That's what the numbers say, and that it's pretty, I would think, commonsensical to say you'd feel much better. And I think with Aaron Rodgers probably felt a lot better knowing he had Greg Jennings and James Jones and young Jordy Nelson and all of the other stuff, players that he had drive, than if he would have said, you know what, just give me a bunch of rookies that are coming in and let's see what we got. You're going to feel better. Or offensive line, you know what, let's get 2 scrappy young guys, or you want these 2 old guys. Maybe you would say you wanted the 2 young guys. But you always want to have, and that's why people talk about the tight end as a security blanket, you want to have that to help you grow, because it will help you through some of the tougher times. I don't know if the analogy hit. I just don't know for you.
Well, so now, unfortunately, I have to ask a follow-up question, which I know you enjoy. So when you play craps, are you playing it safe, or are you trying to roll the less likely numbers that have the bigger payout?
So typically what happens is, let's say you roll and you get a 10. Okay, great. 10's going to pay out more on a odds. But then you also will sprinkle down, and if you're not going to play the don't pass line, you say, all right, I'm going to throw this on a 12. You get 50 to 1 if it rolls a 12. You can also go, I'm going to put it on the 6 and the 8s, because the 6 and the 8's going to hit more than a 4 and a 5. At least that's what the odds should tell you.
Are you a good craps player, yes or no?
Yes, I think I'm a pretty good craps player. Yeah.
You're strategic. And
well,
I don't know what the
listen,
do not
it's
pass
luck.
line means. You're completely
just like
losing me.
It's luck. I mean, it's got obviously luck. The odds are you're going to roll a 7 at some point, and you just hope that when you roll a 7, you have hit a bunch of other numbers. If somebody can keep the dice for a while, if Jordan Love can hold on to the dice for a while, and this offense can move and do all that, you're going to feel really good about rolling the dice. If you keep rolling 1, 2, 12 early on, you're crapping out. That's when you start wondering, do I need to replace the dice? Do I need to fire one off the table and get a new dice in there?
Jordan Love is throwing routes on air with a slightly off-the-mark catch off of a throw that wasn't quite where he wanted it to Luke Musgrave. We will continue to watch routes on air. That's where the magic happens, at least on social media. But we will do Woe Trophy live from Packers practice, the final open to the public practice of training camp. It's not as bad as I feared temperature-wise. Now, I am standing in the shade, and I'm hiding from some of the heat, but there's a
You're
nice
in the shade.
breeze
Get
right
your
now.
butt out in the sun, man. Let's go.
I'm over in an area where people don't have to listen to me do half a radio show and not hear your wisdom, because that annoys people that are standing around me. So this is where I always stand. It's not just today. This is the spot, right by a garbage can. And then once I'm done talking to you and the show's over, then I'll join the rest of the crew in the sunshine and start really sweating it up on this rubbery turf. All right, we will continue. I'm continuing to watch Tyler Goodson go through his work. We got routes on air, but soon we will have some 11-on-11 work, hopefully before the show comes to a close. But Wills Trophy is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here to tell you a little bit more about Everlight Solar. We all know that electricity costs are on the rise. That's why you need to talk to my friends over at Everlight Solar. Their local team here in Madison is here to keep it simple. From your no-cost consultation to solar panel installation, the team at Everlight Solar will be with you every step of the way. Not only will they help you save money, but by switching to solar, you're also helping save the planet. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Check them out at everlightsolar.com.
Hey, it's Alex Strofe. I love locally produced, handcrafted, and award-winning spirits, so it's a no-brainer. I choose Door County Distillery, which uses local ingredients for their wide array of whiskeys, brandies, rums, vodkas, gins, and a whole lot more. Available at your favorite retailer, or if you're headed up to Door County, find them on Highway 42 near Carlsville, where there's year-round sampling and sales. And by the way, head over to their website for a huge list of unique cocktail recipes. That's DoorCountyDistillery.com. DoorCountyDistillery.com.
I love being an orthopedic surgeon because I can help people improve their lives. My name is Ashish Raval. I'm an orthopedic surgeon at Stoughton Hospital and the Ortho Team Clinic. My specialty is sports medicine, focusing specifically on the care of the shoulder, hip, and knee. So the goal for me is always to see patients who want to get back to their active lifestyle. The techniques that I use now allow patients to return back to their activities, including sports, faster than ever before.
Learn more at orthoteam.com.
Zimbrick Chevrolet.
When was the last time you had your oil changed or your tires rotated? Do you need new tires, a battery, perhaps some windshield wipers? Zimbrick Chevrolet Service Center is equipped to help you with routine maintenance, major repairs, and everything in between. Get your free battery inspection coupon and schedule an appointment today at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Don't overpay. Shop Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie.
Main Street, Sun Prairie. Zimbrick Chevrolet.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
The summer of lower prices continues at Fleet Farm. Take Sprout Vitamin Feed Supplement for livestock. 25-pound bags, now only $19.99. And for you birders, KT Midwest Regional Blend is just $12.99 for a 7-pound bag. Plus, get 12 mega rolls of Quilted Northern Ultra for only $12.99. And enjoy Fleet Farm Beef Jerky for just $8.79 a pack. Look for new lower prices on everything you need for everyday life with price drops at Fleet Farm.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. Well, it's always a good time to get that special someone in your life a beautiful gift. And when I'm in need of a new piece of jewelry, Chalmers Jewelers is my go-to place. Whether I want a timeless classic or a one-of-a-kind piece, Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison has just what I'm looking for. My life has been made so much easier thanks to the great team over at Chalmers Jewelers, and is the reason I keep going back for more. Visit chalmersjewelers.com to find your perfect new piece of jewelry today.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Brust for Road America, where vintage racing lives on. Experience the sights, sounds, and smells from motorsport's pioneering age in historic Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Road America's 2023 season offers numerous opportunities to watch vintage race cars take on the iconic 4-mile road course. The Aaron's Art of Wheels Vintage Weekend wraps up the 2023 Road America race season September 15th through the 17th. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Road America, America's national park of speed.
Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. Win game day gear by entering to win at Tito'sTailgate.com. Enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill or a Brewmate. For official rules, visit Tito'sTailgate.com. Must be 21 plus to enter.
All right, I have one important, inappropriate question before we get to Wostrof. In what region is the most uncomfortable proliferation of sweat for you? Like, do you not want, does it bother you when it's on your back and your shirt is sticking, or, because it's starting to get sticky out here, and the lower half sweating, I'm not a fan of that. I can deal with, I don't care if it's pouring down my face and I have to towel off, but once we get below the equator, I really, that's uncomfortable sweating.
Are you referring to your butt crack or the little
Yes,
wildies?
butt sweat. Yeah, really, it's really butt sweat at this point.
Okay.
And it's pretty significant, and I'm not enjoying it at all. All right, you guys don't want to talk about that. Let's do it.
Where do you want me to go with that?
Where is the most problematic area for
Does
you?
anybody not going to say swampy? Like, that's the worst. Yeah.
Swampy. Well, that's where I wanted you to go with that. I didn't know that that's what you were going to do, but perfect.
Now, are you Are you a powder guy?
I am not. See, maybe I should have been preemptively powdering.
Potentially.
Maybe.
Yeah. Probably would have been a good idea.
All right, well, it's time now for Whoa Swampy.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Wostrof
and Tausch.
All right, fellas. Jason, you and I were talking in the commercial break, but it was going back to a conversation you guys had a little bit earlier. I just want to wrap it up with Tyler Goodson, because he's kind of been my guy, right? I really like him.
He's your guy. I didn't know you had a guy.
I liked him at Iowa. I hope he makes the team. He's been hurt, so I don't know. But, Tausch, I'm curious from your perspective. The fact that he's been hurt, is that an advantage to the Packers if they want to bring him back, say, on the P squad? Like, other teams haven't seen him as much, although he's had a nice camp. Is that actually an advantage for the Packers that he's been out of action?
I can understand your point on that. I think running backs, it's getting to be tougher and tougher. But, yeah, there's a reason guys get hidden and you don't play them, and why you don't have open practices. And there's still a little bit of covertness when you like a player. You know they're going to be bubble guys, and especially at the position where everybody kind of looks at it as you can move people around. So, yeah, I think anytime you can hide. The problem is the NFL, there are not a ton of secrets. People scout these guys. They have a really good idea, and if somebody's looking for a running back and they saw what Goodson was able to do earlier and they like it, they'll be able to poach him if that's what they want to do.
Didn't want to hear that. Jason?
Well, one thing I have learned, too, that I would get frustrated with early in my career when I was working on a feature on a certain player who had done good things.
Oh, I'm still waiting for that Dunkin' Donuts spot that you had.
What was that?
Who was that guy again?
Ricky Jean-Francois.
Oh, yeah,
Martauscher.
Gériard's brother.
Yes, I think that's all he's doing now is his Dunkin' Donuts shops that he owns because he's not playing football anymore. But I guess I learned that if there was a player who they didn't think was going to make the 53 that they really liked, they did not want you writing nice things about him. They did not want that showing up and being found on the internet and teams then having their interest piqued. So coaches would not compliment players even though they really liked them. Holmgren and Sherman were really big on this, which again was a different era. But they would not want to say nice things about him because they didn't want anybody to know how much they liked him. So I guess it'll be a good sign potentially if they say good things about Goodson. That they don't think people are going to poach him.
Yeah, Goodson. Yeah.
Whoa, Strophy.
Hey, so I'm going to jump in with my Whoa Tauschi here.
Oh.
I just tweeted this because it cracks me up. And Homer brought it up, and our trivia contestant with this whole the world is ending. It's 92 degrees. It's hot out.
What did I miss?
Jason's got swamp tail.
Yeah, what's going on?
Jason's got swamp tail, and the world's ending. It's hot. And I got crushed when I said that Wisconsin's weather, on a whole, is better than Phoenix's, because Phoenix has this weather and worse from end of May until September. Today would be, it's a nice day. Let's go and play golf. 95 degrees. This is their life, and we're freaking out about it? This reiterates my point more about, dry heat.
You said that earlier.
This reiterates my point. Wisconsin's weather, on the whole, is better than Phoenix's.
Today's unpleasant warmth underscores how right you were about the weather in Wisconsin on the whole. Is that your hypothesis?
Yes. And by the way, this is not to be hyperbolic, and this is not to be prisoner of the moment-ish. This may go down as one of the great summers in the history of Wisconsin weather-wise.
You spent half of it in Europe.
I study the
what
weather,
do you
though.
know?
Has it not been unbelievable?
Meteorologist Tausch.
You have not been rained on a ton.
That's true.
You've gotten enough rain that you're not Drought City, USA. But
lawn does look
you
good.
have been able to enjoy beautiful days, probably 4 or 5 out of 7 days a week consistently. Your weekends have been gorgeous. What else are you somebody tell me a better summer?
It's a good take.
All right, you're definitely probably being a prisoner of the moment a little bit, but I can't refute you. I think you're right.
It's been an unbelievable
summer. I got no complaints, especially the last couple weeks that you missed. Strophy, whoa, Tausch.
Whoa, Strophy. Last one for you fellas, August 23rd. You know I love me some National Day calendar. It is National Cubano Day, Cubano the sandwich, which I would rank in my power rankings of hot sandwiches number 2, behind only the Reuben. Tausch, what is your go-to or favorite hot sandwich? Has to be hot. I don't want you saying a club or something is the best sandwich. What's the best hot sandwich?
Boy, I should have known that this was coming. I was not just to say this because Justin's up there with Jason. That pepperoni melt from Cousins is a great sub. It's a great hot sub. I do love the Cubano as well, but it has to have the good pickle, and it has to have the spicy mustard.
Has to be a good mustard. You're totally right.
If the mustard isn't there, it's dried out, I'm out. So, on the whole, I think I'm going to go with, anything that there's not going to be a lot of hot sandwiches Old T doesn't like.
That's fair. I'm with you on that. Now, I will say, I've noticed as I get older, as I grow up, I'm spending more and more time in the mustard aisle at the grocery store. I'm 24, Jason. I spent like 20 minutes in the mustard aisle the other day, just staring at mustards. I don't know if that's strange or me just becoming an old man, but anyway, Jason, your favorite hot sandwich.
Pardon me. Do you have any Grey Poupon? All right, first of all, Cubano, way too much stuff on it. I don't like mustard. I don't want my pickles on my sandwich. I'm out. The Reuben, you got your horseradish, you've got your mustard, you got your sauerkraut, you got your cheese. I'm out. And I love corned beef. Plain corned beef sandwich, count me in. But and Tausch stole my thunder a little bit because Cousins has their steak sandwich, which I really, really like. I actually get the 15-inch, the longer one, because I like it so much. You get a little double meat on there, get rid of the cheese, put a little ketchup on it. Perfect for me. That's my winner. No question.
You have the taste buds of an 8-year-old.
No, don't say that.
You just said you don't like mustard.
Well, because I don't like mustard or mayo or a variety of aiolis. Just because I don't like condiments doesn't mean I'm a child.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go get a corn dog now. All right, that's it for Whoa Strophy. We do have some, what is this, 7-on-7? I thought we don't do 7-on-7 around here. I guess this is sort of one-on-ones. We've got all 4 quarterbacks, including one of the coaches throwing. But we do at least have some competitive drills going. We will update you on that Hopefully we'll get a little 11 on 11 before we leave. That's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Mark Tauscher here for the pure and delicious taste of Grassland Dairy. A kickoff of the college and pro football seasons on the horizon means, despite what the temperature outside may be, that summer is winding down. So as you prepare for those end-of-summer cookouts or attend those last summer weddings with great dinner spreads, make sure every occasion is complete with Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy has been serving Wisconsinites since 1904. That's over 5 generations. And Grassland is still delivering the pure and delicious taste from farm to table, which has made it so great for all of these years. And the key to that success? All the hard-working dairy farmers across the state of Wisconsin who have helped produce the ingredients which give Grassland its pure and delicious flavor. Thank you, farmers, and thank you, Wisconsin, from Grassland Dairy. Butter better with better butter. There is no better product and no better taste than Grassland Dairy. Learn more and find delicious recipes at grasslandbutter.com.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
This Badger Minute brought to you by the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's home for craft beer and pub food since 1994. Find the Great Dane nearest you at greatdanepub.com. Former Wisconsin linebacker Nick Herbig is making his impact in his first year as a Pittsburgh Steeler. In this past weekend's preseason game against the Buffalo Bills, Herbig had 3 tackles, 1 sack, and 1 forced fumble. Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin, when he was asked about the 4th-round picks coming out party this preseason.
You know, we like doing business with Wisconsin, man. Just schematically, it's the same thing that made us comfortable when we drafted TJ and Loudermilk and Benton. And so I can't tell you that I'm overly shocked at what we're seeing from him.
Bundle a 250 series patio door and 8 double-hung windows with hidden screens for as low as $188 per month at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin at PellaWI.com.
If you're looking to purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Honda, buy local. Shop Zimbrick Honda. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Oil changes, brakes, alignments, and warranties. Honda's certified technicians handle it all. And if you need new tires, buy 3 and get the 4th for just $1 when they mount and balance them for you. Zimbrick Honda Service Center on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
You can't miss a moment with Greeny.
I think it is a colossal mistake for these teams to be starting these rookies this quickly. I'm not saying that you should never start a rookie. We've gotten to a place now where the default is we're going to draft a rookie quarterback and we're going to start him unless he can't. I believe the default should be we're going to draft a quarterback and we're not going to play him unless it's so obvious to everyone that he's ready.
Weekdays noon to 2 on 100.5 ESPN.
The summer of lower prices continues at Fleet Farm. Take Sprout Vitamin Feed Supplement for livestock. 25-pound bags, now only $19.99. And for you birders, KT Midwest Regional Blend is just $12.99 for a 7-pound bag. Plus, get 12 mega rolls of Quilted Northern Ultra for only $12.99. And enjoy Fleet Farm Beef Jerky for just $8.79 a pack. Look for new lower prices on everything you need for everyday life with price drops at Fleet Farm.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
Tito's wants to make sure you have the best tailgate on the block. Win game day gear by entering to win at Tito'sTailgate.com. Enter by November 15th for your chance to win a Solo Stove Grill or a Brewmate. For official rules, visit Tito'sTailgate.com. Must be 21 plus to enter.
Heads Carolina, tails California, somewhere greener, somewhere warmer, up in the mountains, down by the ocean, where it don't matter, long as we're going somewhere together. I've got a
We have our first 11 on 11 snap right now, just as we're wrapping up the show. So thank you, Matt LaFleur, for following that script. But Tausch, while we were away, we had one of those kind of hold your breath moments with Christian Watson.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if you had these kind of moments as a player or as a teammate or to you personally, but he was running a route against Rasul Douglas. He turned awkwardly, went down to the turf, and then he was clearly in some initial pain and very slow to get up and then limping. First waved off the trainers, then Matt LaFleur went to check on him, then a trainer went over by him, but he was on the field for that first 11-on-11 snap, which was just a handoff to Aaron Jones. Anyway, but my question is those moments between when it happens and when you see it back in the lineup, those are a little nerve-wracking, especially when it's somebody that, as you've said, has the kind of talent that could someday be on the cover of Madden. I'm guessing that his teammates were nervous, and he was definitely nervous as he was limping around.
Yeah, I think anytime you see one of your studs or one of your who you're expecting to be one of your key players go down, you just hope. But players move on. You can't sit there and you'll ask the trainers afterwards. Is he all right? Is things okay? And usually they are. But when they're not, yeah, it's a gut punch for the person. And B, you selfishly look at it from, well, this is going to hurt the team a bunch. So you never want to see any of that, but unfortunately, you play long enough, it's going to happen to almost everybody, and you hope for the best in those situations. And it's good to see Christian get back up and go because again, you're right at the finish line, and you want to get through it.
The good news is he is still taking part in this 11-on-11 period, so that is encouraging for him. Looks to me like Rasheed Walker is at left tackle again. He's got his jersey pulled up. He's 63, Yash is 73. A little hard to tell. Maybe it's Yash out there, but again, they're still moving guys around.
Is D-Bach dressed?
D-Bach is not taking part. It's too hot.
He is got D-Bach. He might be out Lamborghini in the Lamborghini.
He's still trying to figure out which vehicle he is. I used that with him during the offseason, but it's true, and they definitely need to do it with him because he's that important. All right, that's it for us today on the show. Practice scheduled to go till 1 o'clock. Your guy, Tyler Goodson, still going through the paces over here, Strofe, so hopefully he will continue to improve and make your roster and make you happy. All right, that's it for us today. We will do it again tomorrow. Tausch, don't let me forget to talk about Jaden Reed tomorrow. I think I've been derelict in my duties. He's had a good camp. He's an impressive kid, and I don't think we've talked about him enough. So let's fix that tomorrow.
Sounds good.
That's it for us today. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch? Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin?